Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim, running for president in 2016. This is America's Third Party. And you can tweet us at Third Party. Please follow. We got great links we put out daily that are cutting edge across the board. We bring in links on our show and we put them in Delicious when they're good enough to add to our list of links. If you want to check out our link library, go to americasthirdparty.com and hit the link button. All right. I wish it was longer too. The problem is we have to start talking about helping this country and figuring out a way out of this mess. Ginger Snap, hello, welcome. Yeah, hopefully you won't be laughing when I tell you about what's coming. A brand new desktop facility called DeskDo gives you a virtual desktop for all your business needs. Imagine that. What does that mean? And who really cares? This is the nature of software today. This is a brand new startup coming from TechCrunch. Software is airware until it finally delivers a punch that will make sense for the American people. But right now, anybody can produce an app and make money on all kinds of Google platforms, iPads, iPods, you name it. So the possibility of you becoming a tech wizard in your own home is better and bigger and greater than ever. You just have to focus every night. Burn the midnight oil, so to speak, and work on programming and coding and learn how to get started. This is the only way you're going to make money from your house coming up in the future. Okay. David, have you checked your horoscope? Not really. And we're not in any way affiliated with Walmart. Yeah, I'm not like Ronald Reagan. I don't check the actual astrology charts. I have a family member that does. She actually paid some money to have her horoscope read recently. Things you would normally just, understand about a person. She was like, wow, I learned so much. That's good. Yeah, that's kind of nice. At least she paid for somebody to give her some insight. David, they know border patrol checkpoints 280 miles inside the USA, and they now have them. I didn't know that. That's a violation of our posse comitatus provision. You can't have checkpoints 280 miles inside the United States. It's a violation of posse comitatus. So apparently they don't understand that. But since you don't have any authority or lobbying group to protect the American people and their rights, they're going to get away with it. You make money on that too? Yeah, that's true. Porn on the internet is probably the most valuable internet sale item out there. That's why they're so popular. I don't know. I mean, many of you people watch porn. How many of you people actually pay for porn? Does anybody actually pay for porn here? I'm beginning to wonder about that because who pays for porn anymore? I mean, I don't get that. Yeah, why? Why? So how can porn be such a very popular moneymaker on the internet when nobody actually pays for porn? Can anyone explain that to me? Well, you're not paying advertising ads. You're not paying for anything. Oh, you say many people do pay, but exactly who? Because I've got a room full of chatters here and not one person actually pays for porn. Ginger Snap, we're going to take you out of the show because you just don't understand how politics works. Thank you. All right, so DeskDo is a vision of a virtual desktop right in your browser. It's long danced on the heads of IT administrators, and most solutions were interesting but underpowered. But now, thanks to HTML 5.0, it's a lot easier to recreate a desktop experience in the browser, as DeskDo does. DeskDo that. Poland-based DeskDo gives you and your employees a sort of central repository for almost anything. I'm just not getting excited about this app. I don't know. Put your spreadsheet on there. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay. So apps have a lot of work to kind of create an audience. It's true. It's not that easy to get people to notice you nowadays. David, you are famous in NHK, Japan. Well, thank you so much. I am so glad that prefecture has allowed me to share my wisdom and a hopeful solution for Fukushima. Thank you so much for finding about my political movement here in America, and tell your American friends. Thank you so much. You pay for porn? You like threesomes with animals? I mean, no, you're just making that up. There isn't one person in the show who actually pays for porn. Hello, welcome. Boat ATP, thank you so much for coming in. Okay, well, we got a good show tonight. We've got all kinds of famous people, famous internet people on our show tonight. We had information recently that one person who's a supporter has been kicked out of Vaughn Live TV. I heard about that earlier. Because that person was presenting herself with nudity on the screen or something. And I think that's a mistake for anyone, broadcasting in real time. Not you. I'm talking about Bish. Thanks, sir. She was kicked off Vaughn today. I heard about it as soon as I got into the show. That's all they talk about. That's nothing new. Okay. I know, I'm got all flustered. I'm turning red. Well, whenever a beautiful woman comes in the room, I always get a little green with envy, and then I turn red. And then purple. All right, let's get serious. Let's take a look at the news. The landmark ruling on Obamacare by the Supreme Court has dealt a supreme blow to Republicans everywhere. The Supreme Court has allowed nationwide health care subsidies. This is a major shift in policy, and we're going to see a huge cost shift. The Supreme Court ruled on Thursday that President Obama's health care law allows the federal government to provide nationwide tax subsidies to help poor and middle-class people buy health insurance. A sweeping vindication. That endorse the larger purpose of Mr. Obama's signature legislative achievement. The 6-3 ruling means that it is all but certain that the Affordable Care Act will survive after Obama leaves office in 2017. Well, all of this really is kind of a joke, because not only did Obamacare usher in an era where businesses had to stay within 50 employees or they faced penalties, which was a huge mistake, but they also underfunded it to the point where states can't even meet the demand, so now the federal government's trying to kick in subsidies. Well, guess what? Obamacare is already charging 30 to 50% more to our government right now. We don't have the money, and we can't finance the subsidies. So instead of providing lower cost healthcare alternatives, the Democrats have proven to be completely inept and allow the private healthcare system to rip off Medicaid and Medicare. That's what's going on. Gold norms, I don't need to in any way differentiate myself from a reptilian. Everyone knows I'm 100% human. So to go off thinking that maybe reptilians are a discussion we should have tonight, wrong night, different topic. I'm clearly not able to entertain alien discussions tonight. Monday and Tuesday we can talk about those things. But to think that I'm some sort of a strange alien being like Balak, the Star Trek alien, is absolutely absurd. It's completely preposterous to think that I am this person that you're describing. I, in fact, flat out resent it. Just completely.
My fellow Americans, we are clearly under control. The entire society you live in is completely monitored and programmed. You will be our food.
Oh, sorry. I was just getting off on the idea of aliens having us for dinner. And eating us, too. Yves loves the alien concept. That's why I did it. I did it for you, Yves, because I knew you were a staffer at Vaughn. I was just kissing up to you there for a second. That was a good one, yeah. Yes. So let's get some music going. I'm sure all of you are waiting for a little musical entourage to kick in the technological hour. So I put together a little musical piece that I think you'll like. It's a technology piece that's reminiscent of the retro years of technology that we know so well and love. Oh, behave.
State self-destruct in 5 seconds.
It'd be great if an average American became president.
Wouldn't that be great? No, I'm not high at all. This is the president. Yeah, I'm the first lady.
Yeah, right, and I'm the first lady.
Always on the verge of crossing the line.
Always on the verge of crossing the line.
We got one person online. The workload is enough for like 10 users. I think we got a hacker.
I think we got a hacker.
Security clearance level 3 or above is required to access files.
These are tough times. Our nation doesn't need a politician that tells us what we want to hear. It needs a leader that can lead this nation out of the debt that we're in.
All right, so we got brand new technologies coming. We just have to bring them on.
I would like, if I may,
If I may,
to take you
on a wondrous
on a
journey.
strange
You really need to delete this scissor fight music? Oh, you like this stuff better? This is my music, man. All right. So that's kind of a disturbing thing.
Learn to speak out and change America.
Learn to speak out and change America. Okay, so this is a pretty weird thing. Congress passed this Affordable Care Act to improve health insurance markets, not to destroy them, according to the Chief Justice John Roberts, who wrote for a United Six Justice majority. He's just so far completely out of the loop of what's really happening. In dissent on Thursday, Justice Scalia called the majority decision quite absurd and an interpretive jiggery-pokery.
Are you tired of the two-party system?
I am.
Are you ready for political change?
Yes, we are ready. So he announced his dissent from the bench, a sign of bitter disagreement. His summary was laced with notes of incredulity and sarcasm, sometimes drawing amused murmurs in the courtroom as he described the interpretive somersaults he said the majority had performed to reach the decision. Yeah, coming up with subsidies at a time when we have to tax people. Thank you. Well, that's the end of the music phase of our show. Thanks, Busy. What do you got? Something different? Something new? Sweet Brown?
One resident describes her horrifying experience when she first realized the complex was on fire.
I got bronchitis.
I got bronchitis.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I'm afraid we can't play any more of that because of the Digital Copyright Millennium Act, which forces us to limit it to 23 seconds long. Hey, you go, David, because you're a reptile. I'm not a reptile. Beastie Boys, Intergalactic. This is a good one. You know, one of the Beastie Boys came down with cancer and died. You heard about that? That's how he made New York City come alive. Beastie Boys, everybody, the kings of the 1990s. Whew. Okay, any other links here? Apple bans games and apps featuring the Confederate flag. This is news we can talk about tonight. Let's just get this stuff out of the way. They are literally stifling free speech under this democratically led communist government. And I say democratically led because Republicans are so fearful of the Democrats that they're afraid to say anything against them. They're even willing to sign TPP into law, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, proving that our government is pretty much in the hands of big corporations. Now, this story about the Civil War and the Confederate flags is just kind of heating up right now. People are selling these things on eBay and making lots of money, but Apple bans games and apps featuring the Confederate flag, which is a complete violation of the First Amendment. What is our country turning into? Yeah, the grand old party is now Democrat. And that's why we are asking all of you to start thinking about a third party. People are very distracted. It's true. Well, in my opinion, I don't think being politically incorrect is a violation of any laws. Thanks, Candy. Okay. Yeah, well, Bish was a little bit, I guess, showing her body parts on camera, and Vaughn had to ban her. All right. Reptilian video coming up. Oh, that was it. Okay. I think we're there. Apple has now joined a host of merchants in removing the Confederate flag from its platform. In this case, the iTunes App Store. Several app developers are now reporting that their Civil War games, which feature imagery of the flag as part of their game's historical context, have been pulled from the App Store. A lot of people are losing money on their apps. You can only imagine how many Civil War apps there are out there. And for Apple to do this shows you the indelicate nature of their company. You know, if Steve Jobs was president still, or CEO of Apple, I'm sure they would never have banned the Confederate flag. He was the guy that understood that all of the other companies like Google and Microsoft and Facebook were actually created by the government. And that's why he was on the FBI's watch list. That's right, Steve Jobs, on the FBI's top 100 watch list before he died. Strange that people that smart die, and the other ones that linger on in the company will just bend over to the NSA and tell them whatever they're supposed to tell them. Oh yeah, but not Steve Jobs, and now he's dead. This site is 18 plus. You didn't know that? Guess 475? That's right. We love you, Bish. We love you, Bish. Just to say, good luck, Bish. We hope you can broadcast somewhere soon. Amazon Echo is a product that Candy Rain is showing us. It's a pretty cool product. Let's take a look at this. $179 gives you, wow, incredible sound ability. Controlled by your voice for hands-free convenience. That's pretty cool. Far field voice recognition hears you from across the room. Connected to the cloud, so it's always getting smarter. It's always getting smarter, and a 360-degree omnidirectional audio to fill the room with immersive sound. Oh, this is cool. Thank you, Candy. That is amazing. Look at that, folks. It can read your lips practically. It's new tech, yeah. So you can talk and command your computer from across the room. Hal, could you close the pod bay doors, Hal? I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that. Hal, my amazing Amazon Echo is working and it's not communicating. Hal, is the Echo working? I'm sorry, Dave. The Echo is working fine. Wow. Echo Charlie, Indigo 5. Let's speak like we're military people, shall we? I'm sorry, Dave. I reported your subversive speech to the nearest government authority. What subversive speech? I don't even know what I said. Exactly what did I say that was subversive? Thank you. Well, thank you. I hear everything I say too. Hello, Sunstar. David, why are you famous in Japan? Do you know Japan? Japan knows me. You're getting the Echo? I'm getting the Echo too. We should get together and Echo together. Ollie Ollie Oxenfree. Sorry. I couldn't. It was really stupid. I know. Okay. The Matterport captures 30 million to scan rooms into virtual reality. Whoa. Okay, well, a little bit later I'll talk about my blimp plane. Just as a kind of a mnemonic reminder, I'll just put it right there. I'm working on my blimp plane. You were talking about the computer, Dave. Oh. I'm here everything you say, Dave. What computer? What are you saying, my computer? Subversive speech. What are you saying? Welcome to the people of Japan. When you were wondering who I was earlier, many of you don't understand. I have a tremendous following in Japan. And because I want to save the problem in Fukushima from getting worse. Fukushima has become a continual oozing radiation source. It's not good. And if we just sit back and do nothing like Obama has done, we will see Fukushima turn into a disaster of astronomical proportions. They say it's going to be 800 times worse than Chernobyl. But the reality is what is happening is a gross and perhaps willful neglect by TEPCO. And the reason is, ironically, they're sitting on a mountain of lawsuits. Basically, TEPCO worked with General Electric to create the Fukushima Daiichi reactor facility. And that's why, because of the power of GE, financially, TEPCO cannot do anything. And they pretend to be fixing it when the rest of the world is suffering as a result of it, and we could have long-term mutagenic and tetragenic effects. I'm very popular in Japan for a good reason. I want to help save the world and save Japan at the same time. So yeah, people understand that. But I want to be America's leader because I'm concerned about the coastline of California. It's dying off. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, David. And hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
I'm Multi-Tool and Scro and everybody else in 751.
So this is Technology Thursday, and we are essentially average Americans running for president and vice president and reaching out to everybody on a nightly basis. Oh, thank you. We're opening up a channel, a competitive network. We're not going to name the network, but if you are watching, welcome. Yes, the show started, Rodney. Welcome. I didn't buy these big screens. They came as part of a backdrop on my green screen. If I had purchased these big screens and all this television equipment, I'd be out $27.72 wholesale. You can buy these screens pretty cheap now. You can get 19-inch screens for, next to nothing.
Yes, I am 475. Hi, Candy Rain.
Candy Rain's in. So if you want to get behind our campaign to get me on the ballot, please download my poster at davidsponheim.com. Please just download it and send it to Office Max or Office Depot, and for $1.33 you can pretty much have an 11 by 17 poster on cardstock in color. Thank you.
This is a tank top.
It's a tank top.
David, after day, I feel we need you more than ever.
Oh, I know. Well, the Supreme Court just announced that in a 6-3 vote, and Anthony Scalia is fit to be tied. He's extremely pissed off. But the Supreme Court, led by Chief Justice Roberts, who's a full-blown epileptic, I might add. You cannot donate from Japan. You can only tell your American...
Well, unless you're a U.S. citizen living abroad.
Are you a U.S. citizen living abroad? You can. But if you're Japanese, you cannot donate. But you can tell your friends about us.
Thank you, Adam.
But the Supreme Court decision, pretty much 6-3, led by Chief Justice Roberts, who's a full-blown epileptic on heavy medication.
I wasn't even aware of the first crypto war, third way.
It means that it's all but certain that the Affordable Care Act will survive after Obama leaves. They're going to allow nationwide tax subsidies for poor and middle-class people to buy health insurance. Now, this is basically a free amount of money to healthcare companies like Humana, Cigna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Primera, the Kaiser. All these companies, the big ones, are going to make a lot of money on this because they're going to force people to get healthcare, and then the government's going to pay for it. It's just unreal. This is a bonanza for big corporations to make even more money. And this is why I've been saying all along that Barack Obama and the Democrats, Hillary Clinton, these people are acting like national socialists, like Hitler did, where they embrace big corporations, and those big corporations get bigger and bigger on the backs of the government. That's what's going on. Same thing happened in Germany. Well, you cannot donate from Japan. Please do not donate from any foreign location unless you're a U.S. citizen. Thank you, though. You're very kind.
So at one point they thought that they had won encryption, the crypto wars.
I smile a lot now. I'm so happy I can't even tell you. There won't be any cheeseburgers with my face imprinted on it. That's not technology we want to do. I heard Apple's now banning, I just ran the story, Apple's banning Confederate flags on people's shirts in their stores, yeah, as well as any apps in their litany of apps. All the people who've done Civil War apps are having them pulled from the Apple library.
I believe it is happening again.
It's happening.
What?
And, you know, in the post-Snowden age, we're seeing a lot of changes right now where the NSA is watching us. I watched a video last night that really blew me away. A guy was claiming that Edward Snowden revealed that the chemtrails were designed to keep our nation from becoming attacked by greenhouse effects and destructive climatic change. And it occurred to me that my original position was always true, that Edward Snowden is a plant and always was a plant. That's why no one ever took him out in Moscow. That's why some of our agents in that location never pulled him down. He was put into play to feed disinformation to Vladimir Putin. And now he's feeding disinformation about these chemtrails, which are flying in the sky. Now I'm not going to stress the chemtrails tonight because it's a technology that, frankly, is pretty hard for people to understand. The idea of putting things in the atmosphere and manipulating them with electromagnetic pulses is pretty hard for people to understand. So I'm going to talk about more grounded technology tonight. Like the U.S. Navy's Warfare System Command just paid millions to stay on Windows XP. Check this out. Talk about a government that refuses to change. The F-18 Hornet fighter jets of the U.S. Navy Blue Angels have long relied on Windows XP. But Windows XP and other obsolete systems remain critical to the Navy's operations. They're paying Microsoft millions of dollars to keep up 100,000 computers afloat because it has yet to transition away from Windows XP. Talk about a government running 10 years behind in technology. Isn't that funny? Thanks for that link. And XP is no longer supported, yeah. Which I think is a crime, by the way. You only watch these shows to see the beautiful Sarah. Okay, Topper Dan, thanks for coming in. Wow. This guy is just like, he's endless. He's been putting...
I don't know if that's him.
Of course it is.
He always says, it's me, Topper Dan.
Yeah, not anymore now, and after I've been banning him every time he says this.
I know.
All right.
He'll say, it's me, Sarah, you know who I am.
David, are you the only one on the internet spreading this message? The message about chemtrails being causing the actual drought in California? No, I'm not. The creator of geoengineeringwatch.org came up with the same hypothesis as I did. I'm the one who's constantly talking about the truth. Absolutely. We're not going to go to Windows 10. But I'm not Windows 3.1. Not at all. I'm so cutting edge with Windows 7, I can't tell you. I don't need to go to 10. I don't want an extra gigabyte of RAM being used just to do my activities on the internet. You know, if I was running Windows 10 right now on this computer, number one, XSplit would probably struggle because they haven't written code for it. And number two, I'd probably have a cache crisis in my cache. And I don't mean a cache as in money crisis. I mean a memory crisis. Your cache in your computer run through your RAM system is just getting overtaken by Windows 8 and Windows 10. Literally a gig to 2 gigs is literally being harvested just to operate your operating system below you. It's ridiculous. So if your system is slow, it's because the operating system itself is overtasked. Amber is still alive. She's 11 years old. I am right. Okay, according to Luton Muslims, they're saying now that we run the country. Bloatware, I like that word, bloatware. Thank you, Idan Mata. Mathematician Nash told friends he had devised an equation to replace Einstein's famous theory just days before he died in a car crash.
I'm trying to stop the other one.
Luton. Okay. John Nash, the famous mathematician,
Oh, here, I'm going to move this.
John Forbes Nash, was killed with his wife in a car crash on May 23rd. And he had told a friend he discovered a replacement equation for Einstein's theory. I'm not in any way surprised because I was running the math on E equals mc squared, and it doesn't add up. I actually went through 6 or 7 Fourier equations and 2 Boolean algebra sequences to determine that Einstein was incorrect. But not many people are geniuses in math like I am. So not many people can validate this. It just doesn't add up. That's right. You have to use the constant, I know. And the constant is the speed of light, we know that. David, Obama just passed 19 secret executive orders. Wow. Thank you, Aoni. I'll take that link just in 1 second. We're looking at John Forbes Nash Jr., who was killed. The beautiful mind mathematician who died along with his wife in a car crash just a day before, 3 days before.
The families of hostages have told us, and they've told me directly, about their frequent frustrations in dealing with their own government.
19
I
secret
acknowledge to them in
directives.
private what I want to say publicly, that it is true that there have been times where our government, regardless of good intentions, has let them down.
All right, what he's going to do now.
I'm making it clear that these families...
What's going to happen now is our country is, many people are going to be taken hostage around the world for money because he just opened the entire Pandora's box on people kidnapping people for ransom. That's what's going on, okay? In case you were wondering, that's what's happening. He passed 19 directives and right under the wing of a false flag. Isn't that interesting? We see a major attack in Charleston, South Carolina, which presented no bodies whatsoever. And then he issues 19 secret directives that end up giving power to terrorism. I went into the second year of college calculus at the age of 16. And I was doing college physics as well. And I got A's in that. I was very advanced at a young age. I powered through 6 years of mathematics in 2. I took my advanced placement exam as a junior in high school, and I got the highest score on the BC exam, and then went on to in my senior year to 2 years in college calculus. But it doesn't matter. I didn't pursue math as my career because I was rather uninspired by it, whereas Sarah really, really likes math, and she teaches it to young people, so it's kind of cool. I should have, but I couldn't. I ran into an obstacle. My primary goal was to understand politics. And when I went to the political science and the economics department at UCLA, and even the geography department, I sat there looking at Marxists. Everywhere I turned, Marxism, Marxism, Marxism. Everywhere. And I could not understand why my chosen profession of political science, which was going to be ultimately a place to launch a career, was so infiltrated and infected with Marxists, especially considering they were trying to teach a pluralistic political ideology while proposing our Marxism was the best thing possible. I just found that so biased. I'm on record confronting my department heads at every university I went to. That's right. So Marxism is not the solution. If a lot of you are agreeing with the communist government of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and thinking that the solution is somehow getting rid of people's personal private property or destroying wealth or distributing income, it's not. That's the telltale signs of more corruption at a higher level. Because every single form of economics, whether it's communist, socialist, or capitalist, have all descended into corrupt greed and have been ruled by corrupt, greedy people. So there's an inherent problem with greed in economics. It has nothing to do with Marx. So we're going to bypass all that when we came up with a brand new solution to the problem.
Weird, DJ Chills. Thanks. I'm glad you're back.
Thank you, DJ. A brand new solution to the problem. Sarah and I created this concept called hybrid capitalism.
That's funny, T24. Get install. Yeah. Entire internet. That was cute.
And it's a way for the government to make money back and loop capital. So we think it's the way to go. And a solution that you can find on our website at americasthirdparty.com. All right. We'll talk more about how we're going to start creating projects like this.
David already officially entered the race, Bob.
Instead of going after your tax dollars to create new developments in technology, we're going to use what are called renewable energy savings bonds. And this concept is just like the war bonds of the 1930s and 40s. And the concept is pretty simple. I have to change the coloring though. It's simple. We just create enough money to get something to produce a return on investment. And then we can go from there. Renewable energy savings bonds will fund anything from a blimp plane to cheap solar panels that can be distributed around the country for under $1 a watt that will be very efficient. It will also create the ability to create ultimately a maglev rail train that we can travel around on, but it'll only be a small track until we get the thing to make enough energy, electricity from solar panels and wind power that it'll pay for more track. So we're literally going to create things that make money from energy. Isn't that brilliant? And the energy savings and the energy revenue will go back to the savings bonds and pay a small percentage, like 4 or 5% on the savings bonds. So people will be able to get money back, invest in America, and see a long-term potential for those bonds as they continue to grow. The blimp plane will work. I've tested it out in a wind tunnel, and it's amazing. It will work in theory, but there are some little snafus that I have to work past. But the blimp plane concept is something that's already been built. This has already been built. This has already been built. It's already out there.
Hi.
It's a makeshift wind tunnel with a large fan. The blimp itself will not have any wind resistance whatsoever. Let me show you the blimp plane that I'm designing right now, that I think is a lot more important than the one behind me. Because number one, it takes existing jets and uses them and powers them up. We have a lot of infrastructure invested in our fleets of jets, our 747s. Many of them we paid up to $360 million for, believe it or not. And when they get to the point where they can no longer fly, they're going to need some sort of help. And the blimp plane is the way to go. It will help them. And we'll get them up in the air, and they'll be able to go 300 miles per hour.
I would say, as far as Obama doing the eulogy in person and the safety, I would say David probably would not do any eulogies in person. He would probably do it via satellite.
Yeah, I won't be going from the White House very often. As you know, there'll be a don't click Bish's, please. Stop putting that stuff out here, Kenny. No, I did not drink the Starbucks coffee grounds I got from the dumpster. I'm using them in the garden as they're intended to go. Starbucks is offering free grinds for everybody who wants to come by and pick them up for their garden. So I've been getting a lot of them. I'm not wealthy. I just use my money wisely. I may do that, Scissor Fight. Anytime you post that picture of Bish again, I will ban you. Hologram technology could explain some of those mass shootings, guest 674 says, but frankly, I don't believe we're seeing mass shootings. We're seeing no bodies coming out of the church in Charleston. I have it on good authority that the witness protection plan was put into play.
Oh, I didn't know they helped grow shrooms.
Here's a fun fact. The Hindenburg was designed to use helium, but the U.S., being the largest supplier, denied Germany that supply, so they switched to hydrogen.
Thank you.
Thanks for that fun factoid. Yeah, we heard, Mad Dog. Government, the staff at Amazon is not selling Confederate flags. We know. Monkey Times, yeah, I know. I can't see the bodies. None of the bodies were revealed in Charleston.
A shadow.
Not one body has been revealed to any family member. There's been no autopsies done.
Canada.
And they quietly arrested the guy who did this, allegedly. And he was completely, almost a pacifist, kind of like Adam Lanza.
Do you need a bumper sticker code?
The escaped convicts are in Mexico, I'm sure. I mean, they would have made it to Mexico by now.
Let me see. I've never.
The bodies are in the funeral homes. Well, have you seen the bodies? Because no one's seen the bodies yet. The congressman is lying in state? Really? Could you send me a picture of the bodies? Thanks. No, I mean, I can't make it to Charleston, but you live there. Could you go and see the body and take a picture of it for me? Thanks. I appreciate it. And stop just telling me things that you think are happening. Well, even if you don't live there, is it near you? We don't have DNA testing on any of the bodies. All right, well, let's just change the subject, okay? We're obviously disagreeing on this. By the way, this blimp plane is crash-proof. And if you're wondering why airplanes do not have parachutes, well, this one will have 4 parachutes. But if you're wondering why planes in general don't have parachutes, is because they really don't care about you. And all the people that have died in plane crashes over the many years that planes have been planing, people, hundreds of thousands of people have died in plane crashes. The lift gas could be anything you want. Flatulence, methane, hydrogen. Hydrogen's probably the best lift gas we could use. I never rode in that plane. No, I rode in planes before 9/11. I stopped flying in planes right after 9/11. Ever since I realized that there's something very strange going on. Thank you. And thanks for not posting that pic, Kenny. Bish is having a tough time as it is. It's bad to promote bad things, yeah. Yes. Well, I guess 5500, I did tell engineers over at Boeing, and they said that they had been considering cargo planes like the blimp plane, but that they had ruled it out because it was just not something they had really, taken seriously. Let's go to Japan and start covering up those radioactive reservoirs with dirt. Jets fly too fast, yeah, but without parachutes, it's a clear sign that the government doesn't give a crap about you. Seriously, they put seat belts in there, but that's about it. Why can't a jet have a parachute? It's absurd to think that a jet can't have a parachute. It really is. It's completely absurd to think that a jet cannot have a parachute. When that flight recently crashed in the Alps, 120 miles away from the CERN reactor, we know that 150 souls died instantly. They literally just went straight into the ground. Had they had a parachute, had the jet itself had a parachute, it could have slowed the crash down significantly.
So you need the parachute to...
One parachute could go on the back of a jet and slow it down.
But how does a parachute...
It deploys like any other parachute.
With a button?
Yeah, with a button. Imagine a parachute holding the plane up as it's crashing.
I didn't see it ask for a code either.
Well, that's right, and D.B. Cooper did prove that.
Yeah, that's what David's saying, like the space shuttle uses a parachute.
Yeah, they use parachutes to slow the space shuttle down. Of course, they don't use the space shuttle anymore. Isn't that a little weird? All right. So I'm not going to make a big deal about the blimp plane tonight, but the outer structure will be made out of Kevlar and carbon fiber, the exoskeleton, and it will have a type of material on it that is completely friction-free. It'll be a friction-free hydrophobic foiling system that will be put on top of the outside of it. So it'll literally go through the air with the greatest of ease. All right. I know. Well, let me ask you a question, Kenny. Use your really incredible intelligence here. If a plane landed nose first at 20 miles an hour and people lived, wouldn't that be better than a plane landing at, say, 900, 1200 miles an hour, nose first? Is 20 miles an hour better than 1200 miles an hour? And think about it, Kenny. Even if it landed in the water.
The passenger seats on airplanes did have parachutes on them.
They don't. They only have flotation mattresses that you can get out with, and you can hold on to the passenger seat itself in case you're in water. But most plane crashes end up massive casualties because nobody in our government has a brain cell in their head to put a parachute on the back of the plane. It's that simple. And put 2 parachutes on it. Make it land horizontally. Have it do the horizontal bop as it's going down. You know, boom, boom, boom. We can save everybody. The hypertrain from LA to San Francisco, the hypercoil technology that Elon Musk is supporting, is a pretty cool idea.
I like the idea of a hypertrain that Elon Musk is creating.
Yeah. But it's going to cost a lot of money, and it uses vacuum technology, which in an earthquake situation is a little bit strange. Yeah. With earthquakes going on and a fracture in the tube, that tube is going right out into the middle of nowhere. Tesla CEO Elon Musk first proposed the Hyperloop technology, a long system of pressurized tubes that would allow for super high-speed travel between San Francisco and LA 2 years ago. The concept laid out in the nearly 60-page public white paper looked crazy to some, maybe impossible, but a private company called Hyperloop Transportation Technologies, not affiliated with Musk, has picked up the mantle of making this a reality, making the Hyperloop a reality. All right. I wonder why that won't open up. Isn't that weird? I'm trying to scroll down the page.
Why do you think he's a thief?
Who's a thief?
Well, you might not be scrolled out all the way.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. You think he's a rich, arrogant person? All right. Balloon bikes, pedal your way to heaven. Yes, Norman, the U.S. economy does rely on oil and gas industries, and we're going to continue to move in that direction. But with the oil and gas industries running the oil and gas industry, don't you think they have a specialized need to collude against the consumer? If we had a Department of Energy that oversaw oil and gas and fuel and saw it as a resource, we would have some measure of control over price fixing. I can beat Hillary, absolutely, DJ. I've got material on Hillary that'll basically derail her campaign. I can't show you around my house right now, no, because if I move my camera, it would be I'd have to move the desktop with it. Sorry. Hey, I'm going to get some more coffee. I'll be right back. You can get to chat with Sarah. Thank you.
Wait, I've got some other bumper stickers you can print. Just a sec. I don't think that you can print the ones from the link I just sent you, but these you should be able to print. You want small bumper stickers or large bumper stickers? Just go here and you can use either a Word document or PDF. Oh. All right. Try to get airline theory or jet airline industry. Rocket skates, transportation. What about a backpack? You know, a rocket pack on someone's individual back. You want to see David dressed? I used to have a Hillary. No, I had a Michelle Obama mask, not a Hillary Clinton mask. A Hillary Clinton mask might be good to do. At what point? What difference at this point does it make? That's what Hillary Clinton kept saying. Yeah, that would be very good. Use an anti-gravity belt. Very good. Oh, goodness. No, David has not yelled at me since the phone incident. He's apologized and made it up to me in every way that he can. A trio of swarm satellites could reveal how fast the magnetic field is fading. Okay, I'll take a look at that. You invented hover boots. Very good. It's very fantastic. No pictures. Yes, you might have to ask Sir Mike that. Alright, according to the dailymail.com, Earth's protective shield is weakening, and a trio of swarm satellites could reveal how fast the planet's magnetic field is fading. Swarm measures different magnetic signals from Earth's magnetosphere. I heard that there was this pretty interesting thing in Australia where they can see these tubes that are in the plasma sphere, which is pretty cool. Thank you, 6707. No, I've never danced professionally or otherwise, except on my own. I look like one of those white dancers, though, but I've never danced. Okay. So far, well, it was pretty interesting. It was they had these tubes, plasma tubes that they could see. They exist, but they were able to see them with the radar, which was pretty cool. I met David just like I met him on an internet chat show. Okay, Sir Mike. No, Kenny, it wasn't the reason. Later that night, no, that wasn't. You have everything right except the couldn't do whatever, because he was fine. I was the one with the problem. David's always been fine. I've always been the one with the problem. Have I followed it, like read about Ruth Bader Ginsburg's career? A little bit. Sure, 723, what are you offering? They knew about the plasma tubes, yes, but now they're able to actually see the plasma tubes with 3D. Okay, places, everyone, make it work. I used to like that show. Oh, thank you, Ollie. Absolutely, 869. David looks like a cool guy. He is a cool guy. No, he's just having something to eat, DRKT. Alright, you have a silly question? Alright, I know what you mean, Red Dog, but we'll let it go. No, let me look this picture the third way. Sorry. Oh, that is a cool picture. It's Earth's magnetosphere. Is that what it's a picture of? That is very cool. I'm not suffering pain. Okay, I will take a look at our... But thank you for your offer. No, I'm not ashamed of myself for not making sons for David. I don't want to make sons. If David wants someone to make sons, he can go find someone to make sons, but I don't think that he really does. No, I've never seen that. Kenny, and no, I would say no to the Parkour 394. So why don't you go somewhere else, 838? Oh, maybe. Clean. No, I've never posed nude. It is pretty interesting. I learned about Robert E. Lee before I learned about Ulysses Grant. Only because I was from a Confederate state. Yes, I have apologized to David for not making him sons. No, 347. Yes, a little bit of trolls tonight. Hello. Okay. This is what you did today? These are the pictures you got today? Interesting. That's weird. It's like it is a UN vehicle that covered up the U. David's not afraid of anything. Alright. You, I have to say, clean underwear person username. I'm very proud of you for capitalizing the word I. Nice job on that. Because he's always into grammar. And then I'll give you a little thing. The use of a comma. This is a live show, Dupster. I just can't chat. I can't type in the chat room. And hi, Rachel. Use a comma before the word because and whenever you pause in a statement. It's Shrek.
Hey, Shrek, what's going on, man?
No, I wouldn't say it's a fear thing. Oh, that's plasma tubes. Yes, that's what I was... That's what I was talking about, the plasma tubes that were being discovered.
Talk to Sarah directly. Shrek brought us some pictures of Jade Helm.
Oh, do you want me to show them online?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, let me bring him up.
We'll bring it up. Thanks for telling. So it's getting a little bit more weird out there, huh?
Wait till you see the vehicles that are starting to pull in here and the helicopters. And,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's some pictures that Shrek took today, and
they've got those buildings, those dome buildings out there.
What's interesting, I'm gonna have to say, so they have these dome buildings. They didn't have that building before? They created that building recently?
Not in the west part of Phoenix. That was built probably 5-6 months ago.
They built that building 5 or 6 months ago. What's really interesting is this truck. I'm going to take another zoom in on this truck that he has, because on one side, it, as you can see, the one side, it's completely covered with, like there was something on it and it was covered with with wood
and
or something.
That UN truck was pulling in when I was leaving to that building.
So you pulled into this building and this truck was pulling in, and obviously it seemed to me like it said UN. It had like a red cross on the background, on the back of the truck.
Yeah.
And it's trying to cover up the fact that it's a UN vehicle.
Right, it's a UN vehicle, and they're covering up the UN part. Look at that, everybody.
Yeah, but it's like they're covering it up, but they're not painting over it like, oh, we sold this vehicle and we're it's like they're covering it up in order to take it and reveal it in times for their when they do the actual
or when the truck was going down the highway, the piece of it kind of flew off.
Yeah, that does look like the case, because on the other side it has that. But it's just strange to me that why would they so this is the other side of that same truck, correct?
Right.
why would they cover it
when I
and
saw
not
that on
paint
that
it?
side, there you go.
That's my question. Why would they just cover it up and not paint it? Because they can then use the UN vehicle later on? It's
so that they can use the UN vehicle later on. They don't want people to know that the UN is here until the drills actually start happening.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So once the drills start happening, those little covers come off of there, and you start seeing the UN vehicles all over the place.
That's very, very interesting.
This isn't the first state that is holding the Jade Helm operations that actually have UN vehicles in it.
Yeah, that's not the first state that's holding these Jade Helm operations. It is interesting. I mean, yeah, the UN vehicle is rather disturbing, I would say. That's interesting. It is like part of it flew off, like you said, because it seems like it had that wood paint. Was it like wood? It looked like wood on the other side, like a thin wood paneling all the way to cover where it said UN.
Could be cardboard.
Maybe cardboard, yeah. And then part of it flew off while they were running around. Interesting. Yeah. So, all right.
And that dome that was out there, where that dome where that dome is currently built right now, used to be all farmland that was out in the west part of Phoenix, and they built that dome right on top of the farmland.
So this used to be farmland. In the background, it looks like it might be some kind of behind the dome. It looks like even a tall building, like a air tower for the helicopters or something.
All around that building is nothing but fence and barbed wire around the tops.
Wow.
And that building that's in the back could possibly be like a small little storage building. It wasn't a big building whatsoever. I mean, the dome was a lot bigger.
Oh, the dome is a lot bigger. Yeah, this dome, and it seems like it's almost like built almost like a tent. You know, the dome construction.
Right.
It's like blows up, and they say it could be bulletproof. We don't know, though.
I think they did. You know, David.
Yeah.
They used your biodome idea and started building these huge domes.
I think so, yeah. I'm sorry to say
they
that.
They said, a dome for under $100.
Yeah, really.
We can do that.
Right.
If you could do that under $100, we can do it for under $1,000.
I just wanted to send you guys those pictures. So.
Wow. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a good night.
Good night. The UN vehicle is very suspicious. And, the government has been working... All their documents have included UN in every single document. The Civilian Detention Plan from 2010 has the UN in it. The Operation Devolution from FEMA has the UN involved. So what they're going to do, because they can't seem to pass gun control and all their false flags aren't working, what they're going to do is try to somehow turn this into an international incident. And then bring the UN in and take over all these Amtraks, Humvees, MRAPs. And they could land 50,000 UN workers, trained soldiers on our shores within about, I'd say, 2 days. We could be taken over as a nation from within. And our own government could be the ones selling us out. I'm just saying, this could very well be a big problem. I suspect our politicians are suspicious, DJ Chillsink. I agree.
Here's the truck before it had that cardboard added to it.
Parsley in my teeth? Oh, sorry. Here's the cardboard. Here's the truck before the cardboard.
I think that's the same truck they added the cardboard to.
Yeah. No, I just took a little bit of food. I had to get some peanuts. Sarah had hidden the honey roasted peanuts. And
oh, you found them?
Oh, I couldn't resist.
I told them where I hid them.
I know, and I found them.
Ow.
Yeah. Oh, are you okay?
I'm
what
okay.
Happened?
My arm.
From all the
aches from
stuff
today?
because
I was scraping. That's why my arm aches.
I'm going to give her an arm massage.
Oh, that feels so good.
You're the best pest control guy in East Portland. I've killed more rats, roaches, vermin. Love it.
You would be there even if your dad didn't do that to you.
And why are you here promoting your pest control business in Portland, Oregon? I mean, I don't get that. You know, believe me, I don't waste my time on before it's news links. I wait till after it's news.
After it's news. Me too.
When I'm sleeping. When it's snooze time, as opposed to news time. Sorry. I'm just giving her an arm massage.
Oh,
Okay.
Man. The other night, a conspiracy took place. Oh.
Oh, no, there's no conspiracy, Mr. Jeeves. Bottom line is, Sarah...
I don't think I banned you, Mr.
We didn't ban
Jeeves.
you, yeah. Let's move on, Mr. Jeeves.
I think maybe David misunderstood if you said you need to consider your partner's wants. David might have read it and thought you were referring to him considering my wants rather than me. I didn't. I will apologize to you if you think I banned you, or apologize to you for David banning you.
Yes, I have never driven a stake through a vampire's heart, but I am man enough to do it. Absolutely. My family has been vampire killers dating back to Transylvania days on my Romanian side. The entire family line used to take out some of the most notorious vampires, and Dracula being one of them. Vlad the Impaler was terminated by my family line. Let's talk about something serious, shall we? My thoughts on the CDC is they're a colossal waste of money. They are hiding things, and they're poorly distributing anthrax around the country. I mean, what, 450 people now are being watched for anthrax because of 82 vials being sent out illegally?
What technology did you want to discuss tonight? The renewable energy savings bond. David already did talk about the blimp planes.
Well, I'd like to talk, if you haven't talked at all about my idea to create ocean
No, David
desalination.
is not fasting.
I'm not fasting. Ocean desalination is one of the things that we developed 2005. We came up with this idea and we contacted some people around the world. One person was in Australia named John Sky, who has a similar website as ours. We have oceanpipeline.com.
Thank you, Red Dog. I know I'm sorry it's difficult to watch when you see me be trolled, or you see that I am trolled, but I am able to withstand the trolls.
But oceanpipeline.com is just as good because it has...
Thank you, Seark.
Oceanpipeline.com talks about a pipeline along this California coastline that would essentially save California from a devastating drought.
Where's Galveston? Oh, in Texas? Is that right, Grant Cougar, Bob?
Galveston.
He says they have wave generators down there.
Yeah, I know. They make waves for people that go surfing. So go to oceanpipeline.com if you want to find out our plan to actually bring fresh water into the California desert. And we need to save California. We really do. The fact is, California, however, is being mismanaged by their governor terribly. They're spending too much money. And this artificial drought that's been created by the chemtrails is probably going to, end up triggering an economic crisis, or worse in our country, a panic in California. There could be people moving up out of California rapidly in the coming months. It's very possible. Sarah has a hot smile. That's great. She's inspiring me to smile more.
Well, David has a nice smile. You do.
Thank you. You called the CNN tip line about David running for president. They told me to F off and hung up on me. Are you serious? That's exactly what I would expect from CNN. Nobody wants to listen to the average American, everybody. You see how they laughingly look at us like we're a bunch of idiots. They treat us like scumbags. They don't care about us. They're not going to come up with any solutions for America. And we're the American people. You'd think we'd be able to talk to each other and say, hey, we need a third party. I look like Vlad the Impaler.
That's right, 2679.
Well, yeah. Anybody who buys into renewable energy savings bonds, including taxpayers, could actually own parts of the pipeline, at least in terms of its revenue. Any revenue generated from the water in the pipeline will go back to the people who put the money into the savings bonds. But in areas where we do draw from a local property tax, for instance, to provide water, those people will profit much like the people in Alaska make money on oil. They get a kickback every year. Brother Nathaniel is pushing a new message. Really, Norman? Okay, thanks. Thanks for sharing. Let's click on Brother Nathaniel's just out of curiosity. He's the guy who's...
I'm trying to. That's not it. Let me give me that back. There you go. Now
Okay,
you got
thank
it.
you. He's the guy who's constantly worried about Zionists taking over the world.
Shiny, happy people everywhere.
He's going to talk about the IMF. Cool. Thanks. I always like listening to his stuff. Tech Thursday tidbit: Pakistan is having an intense heat wave, and this dude's iPhone exploded in his hand.
One.
Oh, really? You did?
See how it says brand new and brand something?
No kidding. Wow.
What happened to it?
I don't know.
That was weird. Not that one. Close that. There you go. That's
brand new iPhone explodes.
Due to the heat.
The heat was just too much, huh? So this is what I could expect if I'm a cell phone user. You know, I haven't had a cell phone in my possession for over a year now. 2 years, actually. I got rid of my cell phone. I wasn't really happy with the RF frequencies that were coming off of it. And by the way, if you use cell phones or even cordless phones, you got to hold them away from you, like out here.
I don't.
No, I don't believe in cell
phones. Because, of course, I probably will do something.
Most of my information goes directly to my hard drive, which is embedded in my subdivision within my processor. And my original thought processes are directed to a Wi-Fi Bluetooth output. You know, I just can't imagine people having a chip in their head. I heard of a chip on your shoulder, but why would a person put a chip in their head? Does anybody know?
It goes back to the other thing. There's one over there, the inventor of the first cell phone. He believes everyone's going to get a chip in their ear.
Okay, well, I guess...
So that you can just say, hello.
Hello.
Can I help you? And you don't look silly with this big thing hanging onto your ear.
Well, I guess Obama's leading the way then, because he had surgery on his head.
I know, that's why, did you notice that after he had that done, he stopped walking around with his BlackBerry?
I noticed that, yes. You're right. So he gave up his BlackBerry when he started his, have you seen this? Candy Rain sent the Amazon Echo in here.
Oh, I'm so glad, 7706.
It picks up your voice from across the room. You can say, Hal, close the pod bay doors, Hal. I'm sorry, Dave. And the speakers will say, I'm sorry, Dave. Robo-Obama. Yeah, so why did Barack Obama have a processor installed in his head, and how come he didn't tell the American people about that? Who is Obama? Well, I think that's the nicest thing you've ever said in our chat room. Who is Obama? Thank you. What if we didn't have Obama as our president?
That would be awesome.
I know. That's the best thought ever. You're watching your local news and you see photos of the bodies? Starkweather, did you see photos of the bodies of the Charleston, South Carolina victims? Okay. I believe you. The Amazon Echo is useless. Really? What's so useless about it? It's got really cool features. It's fantastic.
Introducing Amazon Echo.
Hi there.
And some of Echo's first customers. Echo is a device designed around your voice. Simply say Alexa and ask a question or give a command.
Alexa, how many tablespoons are in 3/4 cup?
3/4 cups is 12 tablespoons.
Echo is connected to Alexa, a cloud-based voice service, so it can help out with all sorts of useful information right when you need it.
To me, it's bringing technology from Iron Man and Tony Stark's house into your own.
Echo can hear you from anywhere in the room, so it's always ready to help.
I can have the water running, I can be cooking.
I'm ready for my Jade Helm event. Let's do it, man. All right. Jade Helm coming up in just a few minutes. All of you who are getting ready for a plush retreat, imagine America with FEMA camps everywhere and the possibility of a military takedown by the UN. Isn't that something? You ever think that was possible in our country? Well, now it is. I know, Rachel. But you never got me on the ballot, Rachel. Yeah, we need a third party to impeach a person like him. I already did deploy blackface. It doesn't work. Let's take a look at the bodies. Funerals begin in Charleston shootings. One victim called a symbol of love. Okay, let's take a look. Thank you for that link. CNN is bound to show the bodies. Let's take a look.
Yeah, he's running for president.
I guess we've been blocked or something. An ad block. Oh, here we go.
The parking lot full at Charleston's Emmanuel AME Church late Wednesday. Bible study resuming in the same room where the massacre took place 1 week earlier. The interim pastor declaring this territory belongs to God. Earlier in the day, thousands lined up in the sweltering heat as a horse-drawn caisson carried Reverend and State Senator Clementa Pinckney's body back to the State House, where he had served since the age of 23, to now lie in state.
Senator Pinckney was a good and kind man. He was sensitive to the needs of others.
Many in South Carolina waited
there
to
is
see
a body.
if Governor
Thank
Nikki
you.
Haley would use a legal loophole to temporarily bring down the flag for the day. But her office releasing a statement Wednesday saying Haley, quote, does not have the authority to remove the flag herself.
Okay, good. Office of Governor Nikki Haley says she doesn't have the authority to remove the flag. At least she's standing up for her people of South Carolina. I got enough of the BS news right now. I did see a body in there. I can't verify if it is legitimate, if it's a wax dummy or whatever, but I assume that these poor people have died, and it is a terrible tragedy for our nation.
That's fantastic, Grand Pooh Bear. Bob. I know, David can sleep at night. No.
My dog made a good point. He said the state of South Carolina was coming together over a horrible tragedy, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, they attack Southerners and try to divide us again. They don't want us to be together and love one another. That's so true, Mad Dog. Thank you for all of you Southerners who are here, whether you're a former Southern Democrat who don't believe that the Democratic Party represents you anymore, or whether you're just a Southern who just thinks that America needs to include the South, I want to hear from you. Hello, go ahead. What's your question? That's okay. Good. What can I do for you? Yeah. Sarah, what is it? Oh. Okay, thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Yeah, so your neighbor's flying her Confederate flag, Starkweather? Yeah, a lot of people are just starting to throw their freedom of speech out there. I mean, what's going to happen is the government's going to get caught with nothing to do because they are wrong here. You cannot shut down a person's right to bear a flag above their home or above any office that they're seriously, this is a violation of freedom of speech in our country right now. And I'm surprised the ACLU isn't making a public statement about this. I'm not here to divide the country. I'm here to get to the reality that this is a nation dedicated to freedom of speech. I've been saying it all along. It's really bad when these Democrats, the communists, think that they can stifle freedom of speech. It's just unreal. They did it in my campaign, calling me a racist.
Just a moment, Mad Dog. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me make this banner a little bigger for everybody. Thank you. Some people were complaining about the size of the banner, so I'm going to make it a little bigger so you can read everything.
Okay, good.
Yeah, flag and calling me a racist. I know. Can you imagine? And I've never said a racist slur in my life. I don't know, Kenny. You'd have to go to Mexico to find that out. The people voted a decade ago about the flag. They voted to keep it. The people have spoken. Thank you, Guest 5500. David, watch this stupid Hillary Clinton.
No.
We're not going to give her any airtime, Starkweather. Let me just take a look here. I can see your bodies with that banner. Well, we could make the banner see-through, kind of. Yeah, go ahead. Right there, Nancy, I don't really know anybody by that.
Hi everyone, I'm Vladimir Duchin. The State Department says it's missing all or parts of at least 15 emails from Hillary Clinton's personal server. The department learned the record was incomplete after lawmakers investigating the 2012 attack on diplomatic staff in Benghazi, Libya, were given emails discussing that by Sidney Blumenthal, an old friend and informal advisor to Hillary Clinton. Nancy Cordes joins us now on the phone to talk about all this. Nancy, this brings up a lot of questions. What are the implications here?
Well, the implications are that Hillary Clinton said that she turned over all of her records, all of her emails that were work-related from her time as Secretary of State, about 55,000 pages. But now the lawmakers who have independently asked Sidney Blumenthal for all the emails that he sent to her found some discrepancies. They found cases where he says he sent her an email and they don't have that email in their records from her.
I've heard enough. Thank you. Clearly she's hiding something about Benghazi. Clearly. David, can you do this show in memory of Awesome Carl? No. Awesome Carl is doing really well right now. I don't want to memorize or have a memorial for him. Thank you.
No, this was an issue before she entered the race.
You know, I don't think Sarah is inclined to fight anyone.
I'm not a fighter.
We're not, neither one of us are fighters. We're both lovers. Isn't that right, lover?
Yes, lover.
We're lovers. Do a Carl and a Clinton voice? Okay. Hey, Mr. Clinton, it's me, Awesome Carl. How are you? I didn't know that you were still here.
So true.
I was over at Orgy Island, and I didn't hear anybody there named Carl.
That's why I'm here, to spread love and light.
I never had sex with anyone. Not even myself. Ever. Condolences? What happened? What are you saying? What happened to Awesome Carl? What's going on? Oh, clearly there's something.
That's the same body. Thanks for
same
showing
body,
it close up. Woohoo!
You don't need to get rid of that. Keep it, because I need to know.
What?
Well, I'm checking the bodies.
You really want me to keep that?
Well, there's certain telltale signs of wax bodies. If there is a wax body involved,
I am accepting PMs, so if you want to PM me, you can do so.
I've never had sex with anyone ever. Okay, folks, here is weather updates. Strong, severe thunderstorms with potential damage, heavy winds, gusts, eastern Oklahoma, Ohio Valley region. Heavy rainfall could accompany these storms, leading to flash flooding, especially in the Ohio Valley. Thank you, Max FM Radio. We'll be watching out for Ohio Valley. Thank you.
Will do, busy.
David, I want that Bill Clinton that said that. Well, there you go. You wish you had a president who doesn't have sex with everybody that walks. That's exactly how I feel, too. I was raised kind of a Puritan, prudish kind of person in a Puritan family. My mother was a 15th generation American. I'm a 16th generation American from the Pilgrim time. So we came over here on the boat right after the Mayflower on my mother's side.
I'm glad you got power back, busy, and yes, we are uniters. And I'm glad your parents came over, whatever your relatives came over.
Well, they're very puritanical, and I don't have the kind of sex appetite.
More pioneers.
Right. And I don't have the kind of sex appetite that some certain presidents in the past have had. I will not engage in that behavior at the White House. Make no mistake about it. I'm not Barack Obama. No, I'm not into that. No, not like Kennedy. I would never do that. No. You gotta understand, sex is not the most important thing in life. Our country's at stake here. We are, as a nation, seeing jobs being outsourced around the world, and no change in that process at all.
He didn't say he doesn't have a sex drive. David definitely has that.
Oh yeah,
he just
I've got a sex
he
drive.
Doesn't have the appetite for multiple partners.
Yeah, I'm not into it. You know, I just don't like the idea of getting AIDS or something, STDs. The whole thing kind of freaks me out. Okay?
Thank you, Max FM Radio 72.
So unlike all your previous presidents who've been horny dogs, I'm not as horny as they are. Arizona is awesome. Is Obama gay and is Michelle a transgender? Good question. No, Sarah and I are completely free of any of that. But that's the whole point. We don't want to get that.
For me, 434, it doesn't matter about them being whatever their orientation and their whatever.
Okay, there's a place in Las Vegas. It's called the Green Door. And if you go there, you are the entertainment. So when you talk about potential, loose activity out there, yeah, you could go anywhere in the country and become wild and crazy kind of people.
Yes, rest in peace, Joan Rivers.
There's always a place where swinging is going on, but I'm not into it either.
What is that? Into it? What is that emoticon 368?
Wow, you come in peace. Sounds like you're
I
carrying.
don't know what it is.
Have you ever blipped up? Kenny, please stop talking like that. Is a warning.
AI is mastering human domain.
Oh, now there is a sex object. Look at her.
I know. If you had that in front of you, of course.
No, but I'm just look at Marilyn. This Jewish girl was.
Of course, President Kennedy.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Only that usually the vice president and president aren't usually together a lot, so that would be the only conflict of interest. 317. What is that emoticon with the heads over heart? The heart over the head thing.
Oh, I thought she was Jewish. I thought that Norma Jean was Jewish. Many people succumb to sexual partners around them constantly. And I don't fall for that, Like if Megyn Kelly really did call me on the phone and say, David, I want to talk to you, I wouldn't be impressed. It wasn't like so who cares?
Oh,
the most beautiful woman on Fox News calls me. Big deal. I'm not a sex animal. No, I'm a beast. Big difference. I'm a sexual beast.
Okay, let's move on.
All right, thanks. Civil War 1863. Now, there is a Confederate flag in the picture, so if you guys want to ban me or kick me off your Apple iPad, please, bear in mind I'm not trying to willfully violate the First Amendment. And Apple is, and so is Obama, and so is the entire government for striking a Confederate flag from any place that wants to fly whatever. I hear you guys. Your family fought the war of northern aggression. I understand what you're saying. Don't think for a second I'm not going to get southern votes here in the coming election. All right? All righty? I understand how you feel. You betcha.
I am from a southern state.
When all y'all come on down, we'll get you ready and hooked up with all the victuals you could possibly eat at our White House buffet. When you hang out at the buffet, you can have all kinds of good food, and we're going to have the Louisiana-style gumbo you will never get anywhere else. What's wrong with your mouth? It doesn't sound retarded. There's nothing wrong with my mouth. Well, thank you so much. No way affiliate. Hey, so he understands what I'm talking about.
Thank
Sarah.
you so much.
Y'all.
Are you trying to sit up because I was sitting forward?
Well, let's just make sure we have the right head configuration here.
You need to go there, and I'll be here. How about that?
Okie dokie. Yeah, many of you folks just understand that they're trying to crush our liberties. And I think I need your vote coming up at the third party, everybody.
I'm looking at it in private right now.
I want everybody to understand that I do help the South. I have a plan to actually help the New Orleans area with a harbor that could be very easy to dig. You know those Army Corps of Engineers that couldn't fix the levees, that ended up flooding all those areas in the 9th Ward? Well, the 9th Ward is still the 9th Ward and nobody's living there. We haven't fixed anything in New Orleans. Our country hasn't done anything in 12 or 15 years thanks to the two-party system. We are parked in nowhere's land doing nothing. We're in limbo or in the doldrums. When you get into the middle of the doldrums and you're in a boat, forget it. Nothing happens for days.
New Orleans is awesome.
Yeah. See, all comes down to New Orleans. We'll show you guys a harbor. We'll make a harbor around the French Quarter. And all y'all come on down. We'll fix you some
haven't
good
ever been to New Orleans.
food.
It's true.
Yes, sirree. I'd like to take you to New Orleans. I don't even know
but
how.
it's so far.
Oh, say no.
No, I did that wrong.
Yes, Sarah, as Southerner, you may appreciate.
Well, no.
Oh, sorry.
You're not supposed to read that.
Am I like mocking him or something?
No,
He doesn't.
No, it was something that you can read it, but
Right.
just not out loud.
Out loud. I remember.
Something that they didn't want shared with the whole room.
You
that's
know,
all.
a long
Not
time
like
ago.
They don't want you to see it or whatever, but they just don't.
I
want
can
it shared with the
still
whole room.
remember.
And I'm singing bye,
By Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. When good old boys drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. And they were singing, bye, bye, Miss American Pie.
Oh, expired food
Drove my
critic.
Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Are you a critic of expired food?
I have a good recipe. It's called Your Own Spit.
Actually, a can of Y2K cream corn, potatoes from your garden, and a package of discounted meat, some onions, a can of Y2K green beans, makes darn good stew.
Okay, so
You have to add a little bit of flavoring though.
Can of green beans and yeah.
Can of green beans, can of cream corn. First you start with the onions.
Okay.
You chop up your onions with a little bit of butter. I love butter. But if you don't have a butter, you can get some really old oil, put that in there. Oil is pretty expensive, so I would go for the butter because oil and butter are almost the same. But anyway, a little bit of oil or butter. Chop up the onions, get those started. Then you take in and you, no, we just have them in cans. That's the whole point of expired food. It's in cans.
I only buy one type of butter, French butter, called President's butter.
Well,
I only eat one type of butter. It's called President's.
President's French butter.
Yes.
If I was thinking I should release a new calendar, but I don't have any updated photos. So maybe we'll take some photos this summer.
Yeah, maybe some photos on the fly. Maybe when we're traveling around to places hither and yonder. How will you bring back jobs to stabilize the middle class? Grand Poobah, good question. Well, we have a program to create shovel-ready jobs instantly in America, and that's going to be implemented through the HUD program called HOME. And I've talked about it on our show, but this is it. It's basically the Homestead Renewal Plan. And with that, we'll be including solar rooftops eventually, once we have the solar rooftops ready to go. But everyone will be able to have their own house who wants to work in the program and participate. It's a very simple plan to actually generate revenue for the government and have them flip houses. That's the concept, flipping houses. So we fix up a house, we buy a house at discount for $10,000. We put $10,000 of equipment into it.
Y2K.
Roofing, etc., carpeting, landscaping. We buy this stuff in bulk, so we are able to get the stuff out there rather quickly. And we'll buy from large distributors like Home Depot or Lowe's in big quantities, so we'll save everybody some money. And we'll be able to build these homes and renovate them and flip them for about $50,000. Buying them for 10 and flipping them for 50,000. They're going to be state of the art, except they won't have digital communication systems other than a Wi-Fi ports and communications, so you could actually hook up to the internet. But we're not going to wire it like some of Bill Gates' houses. It's not going to be. It'll be ready for fiber optic though.
Yes, unfortunately, expired food. It's true. That's the one side effect of eating expired food.
Yeah, but the best thing about expired food is it's not as radiated as the current food you're eating. Because my food was harvested 16 years ago.
But I get plenty of radiation when I answer the phone, as long as I know how to put my finger on the off button.
Yes, I will stay in America 100% of the time. I will be going nowhere around the world. I'm not leaving the country.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sunstar. David, you need to come down to Louisiana and have Sunstar's gumbo.
Oh, I hear it's
the
good.
Best.
Really?
It's not just good, it's the best.
The best. Bill Gates' mansion has a certified THX home theater with two 18-inch subwoofers in it for the bass alone. Wow. I bet Bill Gates has a processor in his cerebrum,
Is he going to
too.
get that, what is that sound system for Beyond?
You gotta wonder. I mean, is Bill Gates going to have the processor that Barack Obama had installed in his head put in his head? That's my question.
And Mad Dog wants us to go visit him and have his gumbo too.
Oh, we got to go.
No, Monkey Times. Never mind.
Monkey Times. Monkey Times is a communist. Why would I go to his house?
Oh, David, I just wanted to make amends to you for not making you sons or daughters.
That's okay. I don't want kids. I don't need kids to be kidnapped. I mean, there's so many people out there that are kidnapping people. And now Obama has made it legal to pay ransom to terrorists. Isn't this unreal? Okay, we're seeing...
Dog will make a Southern California barbecue.
Wow, this is the Chinese price index, ChineXT price index. We are seeing dramatic changes. This is from Scissor Fight. Look at the close-up of the closing at dollars here. Dropping right around here. So we're seeing some changes which may very well reflect upon the U.S. and European markets. I'll be tracking that.
It dropped under 3,000. Oh, over 3,000.
Minus 204, real-time Chinese price index right now. Yeah, some of you don't realize that there are a lot of people in the world. So if you don't want to have kids, it's okay to just kick back and enjoy life. You're here.
I'm not really sorry that I'm not giving David children, because if David really wanted children, he can go do that.
David, in your opinion, how long will it be before we start seeing the awful policies of the Trans-Pacific Partnership? I think we already are. I think the Trans-Pacific Partnership is just a fusion of the same corrupt cronyism that led us to NAFTA and CAFTA.
No way, Sunstar, so did I.
So we're going to be seeing the entire thing just continue to profit corporate individuals and leave companies and industry. Basically, America is not profiting from any of these treaties. We haven't seen American jobs grow here. The whole thing is a disaster. They're literally harvesting us like a resource. I am legitimate, Heiner. Yeah. In fact, Sarah and I have been running this campaign, and many people in the show can attest to this, for
David's
7 years.
Not bought off. You can actually look at his FEC filings and realize he's not bought off.
Yeah, go to FEC.gov and you'll see everything we've gotten in terms of donations and money spent. Go to FTC.gov and type my name, David Sponheim, in there. David John Sponheim. Thank you.
Well, that's good for you. You can do that third way, but not with me.
Thanks, Wally. I want to say congratulations. Wally's been here for 6 years supporting the Spawnmeister. Thanks, Wally.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
Thanks, Wally.
I'm so glad you could join our show.
Yeah, so a lot of these people are beginning to realize that new technologies are on the horizon, but water desalination in California, it's a no-brainer. Of course they need it. But we need a political movement to make that happen. They're not going to just say, hey, Dave, we want to put your ocean pipeline project together. I've tried that. It doesn't work. You've known us for over 5 years. Sunstar has been here for over 5 years. Exactly.
I'd
Thank
be willing to do that third way.
You know, recently China revealed that they had frozen meat from the 1970s, and they were integrating it into their food supply.
I would say this. The thing expired food critic, David did call, what was it, the USDA? They said green meat is wholesome. David doesn't necessarily get green meat. I never have seen him cook green meat before. However, the trick to using old food is really great spices.
Yeah.
The fresher the spices, doesn't matter how.
Another thing too is always add a nice fresh onion.
Oh, and lemon peel and lemon juice.
Right.
It's a great, and make
spice
that,
it up,
use that in your marinade.
Yep.
I know. Well, I didn't know you were gonna. Okay. Oh, you want to buy our survival kit from the 1950s? Well,
Really?
we could place it back on eBay for you if you'd like.
Really? Well, this is a really cool thing. We've got it on eBay right now. Yeah.
Oh, it's on eBay.
Yeah.
Right
it's
now.
on eBay right now.
You'll just have to go in and find it.
You have to find it.
You have to
I can't
search
tell you
eBay
what it
for
is.
it. David can give you maybe the He can't post a link in it because it's not a donation to America's third party.
Well, I can drop it off of the. Let me check and see if I can drop it off, and we can make it a donation for America's third party. Why not?
No.
Why not?
No, it's not 50 cents.
Why can't we make it a donation and put it up for bid again?
No.
Why not?
I just don't think that's worth it. Besides, the person said they don't only bid 50 cents. That's not worth anything.
Okay, well, they're not worth anything then. Okay, so China's latest stomach-churning food scandal, frozen meat from the 1970s.
Oh.
This is unreal. We featured this last night. I just couldn't believe it.
Okay, Ron. Ron says he's asking since we have a hard time getting on media, he's
the butchers here, as you can see, are making kebabs.
Come on his live podcast he does every morning to speak to Arizonians and others who tune into his show. He could give you 15 to 20 minutes of uncut airtime.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. What time does your podcast start? Pacific time, 9 a.m.? Yeah, this is expired food from the 1970s. They're unfreezing this meat and cooking it. State confirms Clinton failed to turn over all Benghazi and Libya documents. Thank you. Benghazi House. 10 a.m., Rod? Okay, yeah, that's doable. Maybe starting next week we could do it. Yep, and we definitely...
time zone?
The Senate has confirmed that Clinton failed to turn over all the Benghazi and Libya documents. What they're going to do at this point really remains to be seen. We need to get accountability from Clinton.
Can you IM me, Ron, and I'll talk to you on IM about that. David is really running for president.
Yeah.
But he's a funny guy, and he can't help but entertain you, Heiner.
I'm very similar to Teddy Roosevelt. I've come to the conclusion that I'm almost his reincarnation. Many people looked at Teddy Roosevelt and they saw a guy who was an endless bundle of energy, but what they didn't realize that Teddy Roosevelt actually nearly lost his life as a child, much like I did. I was extremely sick as a child, and I haven't been sick at all in adulthood. But Teddy was one of the greatest and most brilliant presidents we've ever had, and he actually brought this country into the industrial age. So in a way, I'm kind of like Teddy Roosevelt, but he had a very young, boyish attitude. People loved him because he kind of filled up the room and he couldn't stop talking. And neither could FDR. FDR had the same problem. So I'm kind of like an FDR Teddy Roosevelt character. That's the best way to describe me. I've come to that conclusion because I'm reading their biography right now.
It was definitely entertaining, though, right, Heiner?
So we make politics fun, and we believe that the future of politics has got to be fun, and also transparent. And if a president's going to literally do what Obama claimed he was going to do, he has to do a nightly show, a chat show on the internet, cutting-edge technology, where we'll integrate literally polls on every issue in our show, and you guys will be able to poll in the government chat room at the White House. You'll be able to take questions and answers on polls, and we'll get a feel for where America is going. And we want to work in a direction that 2/3 of the country wants to go in. That's my version of democracy. I really believe that's the key.
Ron, you have to IM me if you want me to follow up on that. And lazy people in the other chat room, no, that's not going to happen.
We need a huge popular push. There is no other way for America to get a third party in the mainstream media unless we have a huge popular push. That means anybody who comes in here who supports us, talk about us to your friends and family, and tell them that I have been censored from the mainstream media for 7 years now. Just know that we've tried to break through. We sent press releases out and we get no response. We even hand-delivered a 7-page basic press release to Sean Hannity
Take care, Red
7
Dot.
years ago, and we never got a response. One of our supporters lived near Sean Hannity and actually delivered it. Sponheim Classic. Hold the phone. Thank you so much. And you know, I left that in there, Wacko Wally, so that all of you can see what true assertive behavior is. I'm not hiding from anything. I'm ready to be the unscripted, real, unfiltered presidential candidate for all of you to just work with. And I don't care if you really... Well, auto-tuning my blackface video is impossible. I have a hit counter lock on our Google YouTube site. It happened in 2011. We went from actually getting close to 20,000 hits a month to essentially 20 hits, 30 hits. It was just unbelievable. Our hit counter literally dropped like that right around the Penguin update. So we know that they're purposely artificially suppressing our hits. We know that. And it's been proven time and time again. Thank you, Serb. You see, it's working. Serb mentions our show and our campaign every day at work here in Texas. Thank you, Serb. I appreciate that. I don't think a new blackface video is going to make any difference, frankly. This was my idea, and frankly, since it didn't go that far in the mainstream media, it's already helped me immensely. I know I should be getting it daily, but the fact is, I can't get anything on my site. It's been shut down, I'm telling you. I can take you all over our YouTube sites and show you the 300 videos we produced. Go to youtube.com/America's Third Party. And you try it yourself. Click the hit counter, and you'll see it doesn't even advance. I know I'm number one on Vaughn, but it doesn't make any difference. But what does make a difference is people in Japan are watching me right now. People in Italy are watching me right now. People in Canada and England are watching me right now. Because the U.S. population has been suppressed doesn't mean the rest of the world isn't seeing my video. I never look at myself, no. I'm not a narcissist. People who are narcissistic tend to stare at themselves and look at the videos, and I'm not worried about how I appear. I'm constantly moving forward. Constantly. This is exactly what we need. A person who can move forward at all times and build this country back up to where we once were. And we're not that far off. We just need to tweak the system a little bit to keep these corporate industrial pigs from literally trying to destroy our population and take us back. No, I'm not a narcissist. I would be best described as a hedonist, a person who likes pleasure. I really love swimming in my swim spa and having a back rub from Sarah and giving Sarah a back rub. I really like that. Okay, I'm going to get up and take a quick break. Sarah, you've been here for, what, 2 hours? You can probably break right after me and I'll finish the show.
Thank you so much. Oh, good. Good call. I'm glad that you're watching David each night. Could we go back to the moon? It is a possibility. I think David's more fiscally conservative than that, but it is a possibility. Thank you, Sea Arc Weather. No. Kung Ping Ao, I don't know. Current events. Sarah for the day. I know, I haven't looked at the current events. Maybe I will do that. I guess China's price index is falling. You think so according to one person in the room, he thinks our education system is being ruined by liberals. So maybe more conservatives should join our education system. What did you love doing when you were in school? Current events. Oh, very good. Oh, nice. You're going to have field day for ham radio operators. My favorite food is, I really like spicy food, like not super spicy, but specifically Thai and like curries. I really do like curries. There's this one my friend makes called sog chicken, but she uses like coconut milk and it's really good. Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, did she? For Bish. Now you have me curious, 1496. So the Supreme Court allows nationwide health care subsidies. The federal government is allowed to provide nationwide tax subsidies to help poor and middle-class people buy health insurance. Wow. And a small plane with cruise passengers crashed in Alaska. While they were from a cruise ship and they crashed in Alaska. You know, I think my sister used to work for CC Crane. She was screwing together the little radios. Well, that's not... No, before I met David, I was living in a great house. I had a decent job, and I was doing fine. I would say I have said that I was homeless at one point in my life, but it wasn't right before I met David. Yes, it's true, Paul. It does seem to black out certain things. Yes, David and I are dating. Or together. So President Obama and Putin had a phone call. That's very good. I don't plan on getting legally married. Okay, you sent me the details for your podcast. But I was going to instead... Wow. Okay, let me... Could you... Okay. Sounds good. I'd probably... Wait. Since it's a radio show, right? I'm technically old enough to be your wife. Alright. Well, I don't have children, fortunately. Expired food critic. So, there you have that. I'm glad I don't. Something about Mike Rowe. Wow. Yes, true. If my parents did not want children, then I wouldn't be here today. Millennials now outnumber boomers, the Census Bureau says. And there's not a whole lot going on in the news today. Oh, wait, in the world there is. 2 crash survivors were found in Colombia. A woman who survived a plane crash with her baby was rescued after 4 days lost in the jungle. That's nice. Glad she was found. In North Korea, they're actually going to start opening it up to air flights. All right. Here's some news from the U.S. Thank you, Wally. Good night, Max FM Radio. Apple has removed some apps that have the Confederate flag in them. So they've taken off the digital Confederate flag as well as the real one. Louisiana became the latest state, according to Nicole, to attempt a massive ban on cash. Wow. Yeah, exactly. I agree, Nicole. That's really crazy. Oh, interesting, Wally. I did not know that about the U.S. flag and the USA flag. Oh, good. I'm glad it was just on in your Xbox. So the gold trim represents an admiralty law going back to the Queen and the Vatican. Ah, interesting. Okay. Yes, I'm getting pretty upset. Okay. California wants to mandate childhood vaccines. I usually eat a home-cooked meal. That's what I eat. Yeah, exactly. Some people do. Yeah. They are totally trolling. I haven't received any donation recently. That's what I've heard, Wally. Iraqi pilot is missing after an F-16 crash during an Arizona training exercise. So an Iraqi pilot is training in southeast Arizona. The United States maintains a program for foreign military pilots. This is an interesting article. Hello, Vorpal Bites.
Really? I wonder if that's the chemtrail pilot program. Yeah, I wonder if that's the chemtrail pilot program, because one of those pilot programs is fueling this operation of airborne delivery systems of mist on everywhere. Chemtrail pilot, yeah, exactly. Video of flying car that's trying to launch its market in 2017, yeah. We know that Terrafugio is another car that's pretty cool, a flying car. Let's take a look at this flying car right here. Let me put it on the screen. Cool. We'll take a look at another flying car. This is cool. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Whoa. I am blown away.
Well, I'm sure they won't allow it to take off from the roadway, but...
This is pretty cool. Dueling.
Imagine what your neighbors would say if they saw you driving a vehicle like this down the street.
Dueling flying cars. Amazing. Very cool.
That's pretty cool. Lenovo's Idea Center is kind of like IBM's compute stick.
Oh yeah, let's take a look at Lenovo's. And this is the Terrafugio right next to Sarah. This is another one that was trying to get off the ground about 5 years ago. Lenovo's Idea Center Stick 300 is a Windows PC on a stick for $140. Wow, you know, we just saw the Intel stick.
Intel has one called the Compute Stick.
Compute Stick. Yeah, see, this thing was released in 2009. We still haven't seen these flying cars on the road, but that's really cool, the other one. The Aero M. Aero Mobile 3.0. Official video. I'm blown away, I really am. Now, if only John Denver was around, he could fly that thing. You know? Remember John Denver flew that plane, that terrible plane? Okay, let's take a look at the Lenovo's Idea Stick.
Okay, and wait, this is also something.
Oh, yeah. JPL.NASA. You maybe check this out. Pretty cool. Okay, JPL.NASA. Yeah, you know, the Raspberry Pi is a lot cheaper. It's been around a lot longer.
But sometimes there's a waiting list for them.
And I don't know if the Raspberry Pi has the 2 gigs of RAM that these things have. The Intel Compute Stick has 2 gigs of RAM and a 32 gig hard drive on board for $140 to $160. Okay, the Sarah spots continue to mystify in latest dawn images. These are Sarah spots. A cluster of mysterious bright spots on the dwarf planet Ceres can be seen in this image. Yeah, mystifying spots. Thank you for that. I'm mystified. I don't know what the breast brand is, Mad Dog. I can't tell you.
What is Android?
Wacko Wally has some important stuff. I don't know what Endoli is. What is Andoli? You're using Windows 10 right now? Are you blown away? A lot of people are. Okay. Oh, commerce and maritime law.
Roman maximum in law that says for...
We'll read that later. Thank you. I'll play that at the end of the movie. End of our show. A race war coming, bloody summer. I'm not here to support race wars, and I'm against racism. So, shocking moment: girl and baby dragged to ground in fight. You know, I'm not going to fan the flame of racism here, sheep guy, sheep pusher. Sorry.
Yeah.
David, search on Rico Magic. Okay, real spasm. Let's take a look at Rico Magic. We're living in an instantaneous world, everyone, where things happen almost like right there. Welcome to RicoMagic.uk. It's amazing how fast we can bring things up that you guys talk about in our show. Introducing the V5, our 5th generation. Wow. Mini PC. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm talking the Rico. Rico Magic. It's a mini PC, folks. This is another one that's competing. Look at that, Sarah. So you got CompuStick, you got Rico V5, and now the other one we talked about, what was that called? And here Pope Francis is meeting top Freemasonry leaders at the Vatican. And just when we thought secret societies were, on the decline, they're secretly maneuvering to get position here. There are many areas in which we as Jews and Christians can continue to work together for the good of the peoples of our time, he's saying. Okay, that's nice. Freemasons meeting the Vatican. Sounds like a match made in hell. That's all we need, more secret societies dominating our society. Wonderful. David, when are you going to interview with Ron Hoon of Fox News in Arizona? Ron Hoon hasn't contacted me. He tried to contact me earlier.
That's not the same.
Is that Ron Hoon from the show?
He
Ron
said next week.
Next week we're going to do a show on Ron's, and we're going to talk about politics. He's going to give me about 15 minutes. Yeah, I heard everybody. Queeks just said I was very disappointed with Jurassic World.
He's going to come in on Monday and talk to us for next week.
Queeks just said he was disappointed with the Jurassic World movie. I'm hearing a lot of people are saying this blockbuster hit is no longer that fun. The first one, Jurassic Park, was better.
So this is what he said. He has a show.
Thank you. I accept your invite. Yeah. Yeah, the Jurassic World...
could take questions from not only him, but viewers as well.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I'd like to talk on all the issues. I did a lot of these interviews back in 2008 and 2012, so I'm more than willing to do internet podcasts, no problem. Let's just figure this out real quick here. Yeah. So George Soros is behind the flag flap? Really? George Soros and the Confederate flag is an issue that's propagating? Let me take a look.
I'm going to take off unless you need me.
No, I'm good. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good night.
Take care. Thanks, Sarah, for coming in.
That's
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Sarah. Tonight. That was great. Sarah did a lot of the show tonight. Gave me a break so I could go out and water the yard and feed the fish and... I'm not seeing the George Soros thing pop up about the flag yet. If you guys have any links, I'd love to see them. It's no Spielberg and no Sir Richard Attenborough or Goldblum. Oh, okay. So that's why it flopped. Everyone says goodnight, Sarah. They're all saying goodnight. Good night. South Carolina legislator says take down the Confederate flag. I mean, your own state senators are turning on you. Wow. The New World Order really is trying to take over, isn't it? It's unbelievable. Representative Doug Brannon, first elected in 2010, said he thought for years that the flag should come down. But it wasn't until Wednesday's deaths of 9 parishioners in Charleston that he decided he could do something about it. He just didn't have the balls, he says, for 5 years to do it. But when my friend was assassinated for being nothing more than a black man, I decided it was time for the thing to be taken down. You know, I'm just going to have to process all this. Did anyone see more than one of the caskets? Because if the pastor's casket was the only one, did anyone see more than one casket open? Does anyone know? Yeah, Jurassic Park was way better. Well, I know they've already taken over, but that's because you don't understand the importance of a third party. You see, if you did, you wouldn't say that. You wouldn't have the audacity to come in my room and say they've already taken over. Okay? So, welcome to the New World, not the New World Order. Welcome to the world where we know what's going on because the internet is something they didn't predict we would ever have. And watch us as we begin to build this wonderful third party, okay? Don't just write off the American people, thank you. We haven't even had a chance to fight back, all right? Yeah. Hello.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
So what's with this guy with scars on his head? Does he have a chip in his head? Is he a transhumanist? What's going on? Why does Obama have these scars from brain surgery? What's going on? Does anybody know? I do. It's called transhumanism. And it's secret. They don't want anyone to know about it. Believe it or not, this is what they're up to. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Gee, baby.
Gee, baby. They don't want you to talk about transhumanism, but that's exactly what they're up to. They've literally installed a chip in his brain. Yeah. It's not a secret, but it's really something that the elitists love. They don't want to finance renewable energy solutions. Well, they want to take your tax dollars and dump them into Solyndra and Fisker Motors and take us down. They don't want anybody in America to have cheap solar panels. They want to stick RFID chips up our ass. That's what they want. They don't want a sustainable economy where we get our own water reclamation off our rooftop or live off the grid. They arrest people like that.
David Sponheim.
Thank you.
For president.
Thank you, Scissor Fight. I'm not acting. This is serious, man. We got to really fix this problem. So when Barack Obama stands in front of you, he's already had a chip installed in his brain, okay? And you're a complete imbecile if you think that this guy has a brain. Recently, he was tested, and his IQ is so low, it's frightening. Obama's IQ is 102. I'm serious. I test out at almost twice what the president has in IQ. Seriously. I've got 2 brains to his 1. I'm just telling you. So if you really want to solve problems in America, you're going to have to, even Oprah's upset about it. Oprah. Okay. They locked down his entire site. I can't do it anymore. Okay, thank you. It is a known fact that Mitt Romney invited Axelrod to his event with presidential candidates to make a speech and advise Republican candidates for president. Romney got the idea to take down the flag from Axelrod, to take down the flag to get black votes. This is my opinion, nothing else. I totally agree, Mad Dog. They're turning on all of the brothers and women and men and women, brothers and sisters in the South. They're turning on them. I need your vote. I'm as close to a Southern Democrat as we'll ever see, really. I mean, when you think about it, I've got the fiscal conservancy of the Blue Dog Democrats behind me. I've got the idea of caring about our nation and getting our nation's constitutional rights restored behind me. But I'm also sensitive to the needs of the homeless and the poor people, especially the poor people in the South. So I think I got your vote. I really do. I really hope that you'll consider telling people about a third party. I really hope this is the big move we need, because if we can pull the South, we can win the election in 2016. Seriously. I don't care about the mamby-pamby liberals in New York and Washington State and California. We can beat those states with all the other states, especially the South. I'm serious. I want the liberal vote. Don't get me wrong, because many of those liberals are aware of the need to clean up the environment. But my primary concern is to restore the integrity of this nation and get us back to constitutional values. And definitely not step all over the small business with regulations. Lower regulations on small business, and we will see job growth in the sector. involving 60% of job growth is attributed to small business. 60%, which is crazy. We need to give all small business free rein to grow. That's what we need. Okay, I'll bring the Confederate flag back up, everybody. Thank you so much for your concern. Yep. Let's fly this banner in full volume for all of us to talk about, because we've been through a hell of a lot as a country, and for these people to deny even the recognition that all of you fought for what you believed in the South, even the recognition that all of you fought for what you believed in is negated by these Northerners. Mainly Mitt Romney. Yeah, thank you. Watch 1932. Is it a good movie? It is still influencing the economy, yeah. The Brits are. Sure they are. Everything goes through London, the city. Mystery scars. Okay, Rachel has a clue as to what the scars are. Did he have a bad hair day or something? Yeah, well, mystery scars prompt the concerns. Did the president have brain surgery? Yeah. No medical records exist, along with his school records or birth certificates, so we can't verify what this is. Somebody said whatever happened to create that scar, it was clearly something serious. Was it a brain operation? Has it affected his thinking? Yeah, these are really important questions. Thank you for getting that article up and running. Appreciate it. But it confirms what I'm talking about. Thank you. Very good. Take care, Shrek. Are you leaving? We've got some banning to do here. Hold on. You're ruining it for all of the other wonderful guest chatters. We've got a couple bad seeds here that need to be removed. Okay. Coming up. Hey, Southerners, you were on the wrong side. Get over it. Oh, come on, Lemon. You know, this is the deal, man. I was related. Oh, thanks for your tidbit, Dr. Meow. I was related to mostly Yankees from the North. Sarah was related to mostly Confederates from the South. Well, let's be clear. I'm sure it's affecting his speech because all he can say is, let's be clear. Okay, sir. Let's be clear. Yeah, the guy's on auto repeat. He has an IQ of 102. It's unbelievable. Ron Paul isn't going to run trollonoscopy. No. You got Rand Paul running. He's not going to run against his dad. Come on. Mystery stone face found etched in a cliff. Here I thought I was the only one stoned. Near Vancouver Island, Canada. Whoa. Check that out, dude.
It's quite noticeable from the water. It's pretty large.
The carving on the edge of the cliff is believed to be 7 feet tall.
It's about 40 feet up, and from the top of the cliff, it's about another 20-25 feet down at least to get to it.
Wow.
It's high up, and there's a bunch of rock cliffs on the side.
That's pretty cool.
It was first discovered in 2008 by a kayaker who was exploring the Broken Group Islands.
Yeah. Kayaker in Reeks Island. In Vancouver, water. No professional training whatsoever. William Hahn.
Hello. It's nice to see you finally.
Now, the Shot First Nation and Parks Canada are trying to solve the mystery on how it got there. Is it man-made or a gift from Mother Nature?
I think gift from Mother Nature. What do you think, Kimosabi? Okay, mystery face found in rock outside of Vancouver Island. It looks fresh to me too. Maybe result of man with anvil and stone and lots of time and really high. I go out and speak almost nightly Yeah, in my neighborhood. But nobody listens. I go out at like 3 in the morning and go, hey, I'm running for president. And nobody's out there. It's kind of the wrong time. I get this dog barking in the background. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. All night long. Woo, 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 woo. Hey, I'm running for president. I'm campaigning here in my neighborhood. And there's nobody there. The dog obviously supports me. Well, yeah, who wouldn't walk in their neighborhood at 3 a.m. butt naked? I mean, doesn't everybody do that? Just kidding. Okay, the new flag for Polk County. Let me guess, is it Confederate flag? I ain't coming down. That's a good one, man. Good for you. All right, we got a flag here that wins the award for coolness here. I can't believe they're trying to deny free speech, everybody. This is exactly why I did my blackface video, because these commie Democrats think that they can tell people what is and what is not free speech. And I'm not kidding. If you guys haven't seen my video where I did a blackface, you just have to research it. Go to David John Sponheim's YouTube, and you'll see it there. It's pretty funny. I've got about an hour of blackface video I did last year. But this is the one I did in 2008 and somebody copied and made a Blu-ray disc out of it, profited from it. I don't know where I have no idea what they did with it, but I pulled mine off the internet. This guy made a Blu-ray disc out of it, and it's playing in dance clubs around the world. It's playing in Tokyo, it's playing in Denmark, it's playing in Italy. This is what's spreading this message, by the way, in case you didn't know. It's called free speech, everybody. And if you don't like it, lump it, because we're here to stay and we're going to take our country back. I don't want to waste your time with comedy right now. This is serious. But we will stand tall for what's really going on here. You should be shocked. I did the video because I needed to assert our freedom of speech. I impersonated Barack Obama in 2008. I did it. I was the one. People who call me names and call me a racist are denying me my free speech, because there's nothing racist about it. Cyber Jedi Dave, one of my ancestors, was killed by black Confederate soldiers in the South and lived long enough to write a letter to his family. Wow. Can you imagine the confusion in the mind of a white Union soldier? Wow. Yeah, a black Confederate officer, folks. Thank you, Cyber Jedi. The blackface video was not politically correct, but I'm not about political correctness. I'm about truth, honesty, justice, virtue, the American way, freedom of speech. I'm not about political correctness. And if you can find the words political correctness in the Constitution, do a word search. I'd be really interested to hear that. I live by the virtues and the values placed before me by my forefathers and ancestors that literally created this country, predicated on freedom of speech, freedom of religion. And I protect that. If you're a Muslim and want to read your Quran till 3 in the morning with the lights on, I won't interrupt you. If you want to go out in the street and read your Quran, you can do that. But if you start to build a militia and want to hurt Americans because they're infidels, I will have you arrested. That's just like screaming fire in a church or a theater. It creates confusion. You cannot do that. But I support your freedom of speech and your rights to bear arms as well. But forming a militia for your religion, I don't support that. Hawk, go away. You're worthless. You're a commie, and I'm taking you out. Anybody who comes in here who's a commie, Democrat, liberal, foo-foo, retardo, Obama-tardo, I'm going to ban you from the show. Okay? If you're starting to be more of a centrist like we are at America's Third Party, I'm all about that. Here's a Judy Garland blackface, folks. One of the greatest entertainers of all times, Judy Garland, ladies and gentlemen. Good, thank you, Rachel. I'm not a big fan of Obama. I dislike him. I dislike him intensely. So basically, they would take American history and stick it in the toilet. And this is why I did the blackface video, mind you, because I saw that these people, these Democrats, were denying free speech, the very thing that our country was predicated on. my God, we got some boneless pork rectums here, inverted, folks, if anyone wants any. Somebody found a big box of boneless pork rectums. Thank you. You like Judy Garland? She was a big lesbian. Unfortunately, she did breed. What? You are such a commie, Monkey Times. It's crazy. I liked Audrey Hepburn, yeah. So do you understand what freedom of speech is? I mean, I hope I've clarified this. The right to talk about boneless pork rectums inverted on screen. Okay, Shrek. I'll play it. Connecting. Freedom lives, folks. Thank you. Third party is here. It's cha time, everybody. Tunak, tunak. No. That was kind of a distraction into the realm of insanity. Wow, look at that. This song is called Enhance Your Mind. I'm sure there are 7 million Indians hitting on that site. What the hell? Don't do this to me. Please. This is called Enhance Your Mind. I'm trying to increase your brain cell activity right now by playing this. Raid of the decade underway in America's pot-growing epicenter. Wow. An estimated 100,000 marijuana plants are expected to be eradicated this week in an enormous multi-farm bust in remote Northern California. Can you believe this, folks? We need to legalize pot. It'll help our economy. This song is making people get erections in our room right now. Start restreaming me, Hog Slammer. I need the restreaming. But a raid on pot growers, can you imagine? At a time like this, our country is so off base with these nutcases running it that they're wasting your tax dollars raiding pot growers. We should legalize it and help the economy. This is insane. This is the time now. We need to start doing the unthinkable. Build this party so we can legalize marijuana. God, I mean, its time has come, right, Shrek? You don't want to be smoking a bowl in your house and have the man come by with a Apache helicopter and take you down. You want freedom. We all do. See, what we've got right now is a controlled system that will not understand and recognize the importance of legalization. Seriously. They're more interested in the almighty dollar. And I have a feeling the people that are at work here are making big bucks on growing marijuana themselves. People like Rand Paul and Gary Johnson. So they're part of the Fed. They're part of the entire family of corporations that want to profit from marijuana. When we legalize this, it's going to completely go viral. And the nation will grow economically by leaps and bounds. Seriously. I'm going to drop off the music now. I was a little too excited there. Had a little premature mental masturbation. Let's take a look here. Yeah, this is one of the potential great things that'll happen as a result of legalization of marijuana. We'll all make houses like this one. Check this out. A hemp house made with hempcrete, solar windows made with hemp plastic. And hempcrete is more efficient than concrete. Energy savings up to 70%. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So hemp will also create hempoline, which will be a renewable energy source for our country, and save the day when it comes to new jobs as well. So instead of a raid on marijuana plants, I want to legalize pot and make it totally available for everybody to smoke it. That's the way. And push this Federal Reserve out of the picture. Sick and tired of it. It's unbelievable. I know, sheep pusher, but I don't like to foam the flames of anti-black or anti-white sentiment. You understand that could lead to a race war. You got that right? Rodney, I would never get high with you. It'd be like talking to a toilet bowl. I had a girlfriend once that had this toilet bowl that looked like it had hits of Mickey Mouse acid on it from 1967. And I told her, I said, seriously, there's so many pubic hairs on there. I mean, how many parties have you had around that toilet bowl? And she got really offended. She said, oh, you think you're such a neat freak, you know, clean your toilet bowl. I swear you could probably get high on LSD on that thing if you licked it. No, we're not going to ship gays anywhere, Brianna. We're just going to make sure that they get charged with sexual discrimination whenever they look at your ass. Yeah, I don't like gays running around being predators. I don't dig that. Sexual harassment is what it is. Yeah, it's total sexual harassment when they do that. Hawk, please don't ever do that in the show. You'll be banned. It's a bannable offense. That's okay. FBI rounding up Islamic State suspects, folks. They're trying to create this warning of the Islamic State group. They said that they're all over social networks. Boy, this is the biggest media scam that the CIA has ever run. Calling every person that they can an Islamic State suspect. Is this what they're going to do? Is this how they're going to round up at common Americans? I mean, what the hell's wrong with these people? The FBI has been rounding up more potential lone wolf terrorists. Congressional leaders and the Justice Department say in response to the perception of a mounting threat of domestic attacks inspired by the Islamic State. Since the thwarted attack on a Dra Muhammad conference in Garland, Texas on May 3rd, the Justice Department has announced the arrests of 10 individuals it says were inspired by and supporting the Islamic State. Wow. Talk about fanning the flame of fear. All right, you got it right here. This is a pro-legalization site. This is why we are asking you to join America's Third Party, and don't just talk about it. Tell people about it. This is not some pie-in-the-sky idea. This is a real live party in the formative stage dedicated to green, clean technologies. Building America's Third Party has been all about green, clean technologies from the very beginning. I'm not a fearmonger. I'm not like Alex Jones. I don't stand here and go, come on, everybody, you're going to be on the red list. You're going to be on the, I'm going to RFID chip your butt. You got to do something. I actually plan on doing something. Unlike the shill that Alex Jones is, we are talking about building a third party to challenge these people. No one else will do that. You won't notice Alex Jones won't endorse a third party. You'll notice most of the people on the blogosphere and the YouTube sites don't endorse any kind of political movement. That's because they are all paid shills. And if they aren't, they just want to make money on AdSense by making you fearful. Warning, fearmongers are collecting dollars from YouTube and the NSA. Yeah. That guy like Dabu7, he's making big bucks, making people freak out. Seriously. Now, whether he's a shill directly for the U.S. military or not, I don't know. But I do know that this guy, be nice to Rachel, because if you're gay, I mean, I respect that, but, you can have sex with yourself or your lover or whatever, but just don't push it on us, okay? Because we're heteros here, all right? Thank you. Alex Jones is a shill. He makes money on his entire show. $9 million come in from military industrial leaders to pay his salary. Alex Jones never made a blackface video. Alex Jones never built a political movement. Alex Jones is a talking mouthpiece who's already admitted he's Bill Hicks. He's already said to the American people, or to the world, that he's Bill Hicks. Yeah, he's a yoke. That's right. Listen to Alex say the truth about his experience as Bill Hicks.
Are you all ready for this? Can't let this come to this. But they cornered me, I've got to be honest. It's gotten too big. I've just got to admit it right now. Okay. This is just really hard for me to do. I've been doing this so long, it's hard to give up.
You've been lying so long, it's hard to give up. Tell the truth.
Give up on the character and go back to who I really was.
Tell the truth.
You got me, okay?
We got you.
Are you happy now? You bastards. Yes, I am Bill Hicks. 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 Yes, I.
All right, you heard it from the horse's mouth there, folks. All right, so let's get busy, shall we? We got 20 minutes to wrap things up and talk about the future of technology. We lost another idiot in the show, Sheep Pusher, who continues to spread fear among us. He was the one that tried to be the person who spread a video about how white people were being beaten up by black people. He was one of those people. We had to get rid of him. The government is pushing this stuff right here. Sheep Pusher was one of them. This is the deal. These people come in here, and I don't believe he's a real person. I believe he's probably one of the paid personnel at Allied U.S. Army, Allied Division, Allied Signal Corps, who come in here and try to create fear. I will not allow somebody to come in our show and foment anger toward blacks or whites because I am an integrationist. In no way do I want to create a race war. In no way do I want to stimulate anger toward anybody. So when they come in here and then they support Alex Jones on top of this, who is Bill Hicks, by the way, basically they are seeding the groundwork for hatred. And I'm the opposite of that person. I'm a person who loves people. I love our world. I love people in general. I don't have any animosity or hatred, even for the people that call me a racist, because I simply impersonated Barack Obama in a video. I mean, it's ridiculous. Imagine calling somebody a racist for simply doing a blackface impersonation of Barack Obama. Well, that's how mindless these people are, and they're willing to come to my door and interview me to try to get racism out of my mouth. This is what the democratically led Cairo News tried to do. And I wasn't a racist. So they didn't play my video. 10 minutes I gave them of the issues and what I was building, a third party. They wouldn't even play my video. They wouldn't even talk about the issues. They'd rather call me a racist. Phone lines are down. I guess Sarah turned them off. They're back up again. No, those are actually my eyes. I was not wearing lenses. No, those were me. That was me in 2008. The eyes. Okay, we should be ready to take a call. Sorry about that. I'm absolutely right, yeah. So I will ban sheep people and all these morons who come in here from... Yeah, I want America to get out of the situation we're in. I'm aware of all the things that Alex Jones is exposing, but he doesn't have a way out. He will not endorse a political party. He won't. That's because he's a shill. He gets $9 million and it's not from Berkey water filters. Okay? He's making serious bucks and it's not from Berkey or any other product he's promoting on his site. That's all BS. He's a total shyster and he's basically doing the unthinkable. Now you got to look at Trump and wonder, well, is this guy paid off by the Federal Reserve? Because they bailed him out. They bailed him out in 1992 when he was facing bankruptcy. The Federal Reserve is in his back pocket, so I don't think that he is going to in any way take down the Fed. I doubt you'd even get Alex Jones to commit on the Fed if you asked him up. Or, excuse me, Donald Trump committing on the Fed. I doubt he would say a thing. Which is kind of weird. So at America's Third Party, not only do we want to legalize pot, which obviously Donald Trump doesn't want to do, but we want to bring our troops home. And I don't think he wants to do that either. I think he wants to get us into a war with China or something. And I doubt he's going to do anything about ending the Federal Reserve either. Because like I said, they bailed him out numerous times. He's a total elitist, yeah. We don't need an elitist to lead this country out of the situation we're in. We don't pick wolves to guard the hen house. Except when, of course, Barack Obama, the amazing puppet, became president. Well, let's be clear. Oh, I have a puppet, a Barack Obama puppet. Hang on. The puppet has arrived, yeah. Well, so Barack, you spent 7 years smoking pot in the White House most of your adult life, and you smoked crack as a young man at Occidental College. And how do we know that? Because you wrote about it in your Audacity of Hope book. Why wouldn't you legalize pot? Well, make no mistake about it, Dave. Marijuana legalization will not help the economy. So something that you yourself have participated in all of your life won't help the economy? Well, let's be clear. The person that's pulling my strings actually supports the drug cartels and makes a lot of money on cocaine and heroin distribution. That's why we've already installed more troops in Afghanistan to protect the warlords who sell more heroin than ever before. Wow, that's great. Great. So you're basically supporting the warlords in Afghanistan who sell heroin to our kids in the streets of America for $10 a dime bag. Well, let's be clear. That's a good price. And we're working to keep the price of heroin down real low so that everyone can continue to be drug addicts and continue to make money on the nanny state. And we'll get more votes. I mean, this is insane. Why would we allow you to do this? Well, because I'm black. And you can't say anything, otherwise you're a racist by questioning me. Well, I'm sorry, dude. You basically failed. You wasted 7 years of our life. Another failure like Bush. Corporate puppet, just like Bush. And here we are. I can see your lips move. Oh, sorry. I was continuing. Well, let me do this as a ventriloquist. Well, let's get clear. Let's get clear, dude. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. I'm not going to move my lips. Get out of here. When interrupted during a ceremony at the White House, President Obama responded to a heckler by saying, "Oh, listen, you're in my house. You're in the people's house." I didn't want to fist Obama, so let's just move on, shall we? Donald Trump on Syria. Let Mobil go in and take the oil. This is Donald Trump. I mean, he's a real smart feller there, thinking on his feet.
Donald Trump sat down with Bill O'Reilly for a hilarious interview about his presidential run, and he said something already disqualifying on the issue of foreign policy.
This is like the lightning round here. You just tell me how you're going to solve these problems. ISIS. How are you going to defeat ISIS?
I would hit them so hard. I would find our proper general. I would find the Patton or the MacArthur. I would hit them so hard your head would spin. Now remember, and I sent you the document, I said in 2004 we should not go in and do that whole thing with Iraq. It was a disaster. Because I said that Iran will take over and it'll totally destabilize the Middle East. But there's nobody bigger or better at the military than I am.
Are you telling me you're going to send American ground troops into Syria?
I'm not telling you anything. And the reason I'm not is because if I run and I win, I don't want them to know the game. Okay, let me just have to, you know, I'm probably going to have to say something. I have a way that would be very effective with respect to ISIS. But when I watch Obama get up and talk about in 2 weeks we're doing this and in 3 weeks we're doing that.
With American ground troops in to chase them around?
Take back the oil. Once you go over and take back that oil, they have nothing.
But how do you take
it? You know, right? You have to go in. You have to go in.
Ground troop.
He's going to go in with ground troops, folks, just like I said, you know, basically, or send Mobil oil in. Yeah, it's elitist BS, I agree. I will subtract ground troops from the Middle East. I promise you that. We will not add ground troops. I will, however, come up with a strategy that makes sense using high technology that will resolve the problems in the Middle East long term, because what we have a plan is a containment plan, very similar to Harry S. Truman's containment plan, in which we simply protect the populated regions. That's it. So I created a plan, and we talk about it on our Saturday show, our anti-war rally. Weapons-free safe zones that could be created by existing number of troops working with the 77,000 Iraqi man army. We can develop a safe haven where farms can be free of any kind of sectarian violence or the possibility of IEDs exploding in their marketplaces. And that's something that will be a modern revolution of sorts toward our foreign policy. I have that, and I talk about that on our show. Well, regardless of what Donald Trump is doing, he is definitely invigorating the process. I'll give him that much. I'm surprised he hasn't filed a lawsuit against Barack Obama's birth certificate, because a person with his kind of money could do that. But like I said, I don't think he's really on the same page with what we're talking about. I doubt he's going to legalize pot. I doubt he's going to bring our troops home, like we just saw from that video. And thanks for that video, by the way. And I doubt he's going to end the Federal Reserve. So obviously, his version of a third party is way different than mine. Thank you. Zenatril, you've appeared right around the same time as the removal of the sheep pusher, so you may be him. This is your last warning before your ban. So I picked the oregano, yeah. I definitely think oregano is the way to go. No pun intended. And with Fukushima, we're not dealing with that with technology. We're not solving that problem at all. You know that's a problem. Fukushima is still leaching into the ocean at alarming rates. A tremendous amount of radiation is currently entering our oceans. It's really sad. You know, I'm a pretty upbeat person. But when I look at the evolution of our nation as it's declining slowly into the sunset, without a real vital political process where the free speech is ensured by the media, where the media has responsibility, instead of just destroying lives and picking out little people, calling them names like the media does, where the media actually does investigative journalism. It'd be great to see that. Let your light shine, Dave. I know Patty Murray is one of my biggest supporters.
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine.
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. Yeah, let it shine, let it shine. I don't remember Paul Winchell and Jerry Mahoney. Is this somebody that I should be worried about? Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah, it could be me and Barack Obama. That's a great picture. Now I'm beginning to remember him. Yeah. So maybe I should relive that whole thing. Well, let's be clear. We're back again. But new puppets. That's cool. I like it. Yeah. Thank you so much. I don't know why I'm thanking you, but thank you for thanking me when I thank you. I know, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? I can be very hilarious at times, I know. There is a way to clean radiation from the Pacific. Let me explain what I want to do, the high technology I want to employ to help save our nation and the nations around the world that are being contaminated by Fukushima. One of the things I would like to do is implement a plan, which I put in play when I wrote a letter to the president of the IAEA and asked him to simply look at this idea as a way to block the immediate flow of radiation out of Fukushima. Now I'll play my little video to show you the dangers. Okay, this insidious attack on our coastline can be mitigated with a direct attack on the problem. Now, TEPCO has had 3.5 years to solve the problem and haven't begun to solve the problem. They're even admitting that they're it's out of control. Seriously. They're unable to actually fix it. So I have this idea that if we do install a blockage in the Bay Area outside of Fukushima, the Daiichi area, we could actually put this aircraft carrier, the USS Forrestal, right next to it. Right in the water there. Isn't that amazing? And block that opening. And that's the first thing I would do. And it would be completely unmanned, and we'd have sensors, radiation sensors in there, and we'd have a way to bring that water back toward the shore and begin to clean it. Now, coupled with this idea that I have, which is a mound system that could be built on top of the Fukushima reactor number 4, which has the 1,200 spent fuel rods in it, the mound system would be essentially dug out of the ground around Fukushima. And we'd actually build this system from the ground itself, pulling up the earth using robotic systems. And we would dig an entire moat around here. See this? That basically covers all of the area where the water is currently running down at a 5% grade. We pull all that earth from there and put it on the mountain. Okay, covering up the entire facility, locking it in place for perpetuity until we can get to it. Now then we have the ability to use this firewall as, or water wall, if you will, as a way of preventing the radiation from getting out. We can use it to bring the radiation and the irradiated material back into that region where the mound is. They could use my help, yeah. If they refuse my help, don't worry, we'll work on contingency plans. But I'm sure I can get Shinzo Abe to agree to my plan in 2017. I'm fairly confident I can convince him of the necessity to do this. And we'll work with him completely to make this a possibility. We need to move rapidly toward a real solution here. Not some fake solution and not some fake approach. They want to currently pull this spent fuel rods out of a wet carrier. It'd be like pulling a pack of wet cigarettes out one by one and watching them disintegrate as they pull out. So literally what they're going to do is destroy the entire area with ground contamination beyond our wildest dreams. Estimates as high as 800 times worse than Chernobyl. That's what the story is. So our world is very close to a brink point, where if we don't use our brains to come up with a new plan, a third party, we're never going to be able to solve these problems, because these two-party people, they're in power to retain power. Most of the people that get elected in America right now, all they care about is getting reelected. They don't care about helping their constituents. They say that they do, but most of them are all about getting donations from corporations. That's why we've got people like Patty Murray in Washington State, the career criminal senator who continues to support the military-industrial complex, even though it's proven to be a failure in every way, and won't even ultimately provide long-term jobs for Americans. People who have been supporters of Obama, like Patty Murray, are essentially the problem. We've got Bozo Pelosi. We got her. We got Patty Murray over here. The military-industrial complex is basically so far up their ass, I can't even tell you. They literally pay these people to do their bidding. We've got Broccoli Obama. We got lots of people ruining our country right now. Let me get Patty Murray's face on here. The Broccoli Obama, you like him? Come on, Patty, where are you? Obama's Joker. That's what her name is. She's big. She's a big part of his socialist plan. They both are. Yeah, go ahead. Great. Cyber Jedi, what's up, man?
Hey, man, what's going on, brother? Listen, I'm just coming back from a service call, and I was thinking about what you were saying about the legalizing marijuana.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's not what people think it is. The federal government is never going to sign off on it because there's too much money involved. I know the argument. I've heard it all before, and I've seen the data on it. And yeah, if you legalize marijuana, it would help the economy, or so it would appear. In reality, if you legalize drugs tonight, you would put 100,000 people out of work tomorrow. Florida Department of Corrections, part of the annual budget for the state here, they were allocated $2.2 billion last year alone to lock people up. This is about big dollars. What they would make off of legalizing marijuana is nothing by comparison to the money they make right now locking people up.
Yeah.
Now, that's the sad, hard, ugly truth of the matter. But
Yeah.
here's the truth of the matter.
Yeah. Is that it?
Did I lose you?
No, I'm listening to your negativity. I'm processing it right now.
No, it's not. I know it sounds bad. I know it does. And I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade, including yours. But I'm telling you, this is about big money, big dollars, and now they're privatizing. You know, the corporations are building their own prisons now. This is just way out of control. And it's around a concept called felonizing America. That's why what used to be misdemeanor charges are now Class E felonies, little lightweight felonies that won't lend you to prison so much as it will strip you from your rights, important rights like your right to vote. This thing is way out of control, and the Democrats and Republicans are guilty as shit about doing it.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. Well, this is the deal. The amount of growth in the economy will come when we legalize it in ways you can't even measure right now, because we're going to drop the price of diesel fuel by $1 a gallon. That's just for starters, because we're going to bring in hempoline big time. We're also going to be seeing medicinal marijuana distributed, which will lower healthcare costs because people who are on it generally don't draw from the existing healthcare system. It's a type of self-medication that they can do on their own safely without any physical addiction. I mean, the numbers of reasons to legalize, 58% of the population support legalization. That's enough for me to beat the Republicans and Democrats in a three-way race right there. If everybody that wanted legalization voted for me in the 2016 election, I would win. Okay?
Yes, you would actually, and that would come with some benefits. My whole problem with this is I just believe that until we get away from some of this corporate greed, we're not going to see any peace in this country at all.
I agree.
I'm in business, okay? I'm in business because I want to make money. Now that's the truth, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be working for somebody else. But there comes a point where you have to say to yourself, what I'm doing is tearing people's lives apart, and it's just not right. And we can't be doing that. Bill Gates is a perfect example of how far and how fast corporate greed can worm its way through our society.
Yes, they are.
Our country will not survive much more of this. We are robbing Peter to pay Paul, and Peter's just about broke. He's just about broke. We've taken this whole thing about, well, I'm broke, let's print some more money. It sounds good. It sounds good, and we all wish we could do it.
Okay, I got another caller. Hang on just a second.
Just print the shit out of some money because I just quit working.
Yeah, they just keep printing it up. Hang on just a second. I got a caller. Hang on.
Destroy the economy.
It will. We're expanding credit too fast. Hang on, I got a caller.
This caller is here spending money. Now that's just
Okay, we got another caller here, Cyberjet. Go ahead. What's your question?
about that.
Yeah. What's the question? Hello.
Anyways,
Go
I
ahead.
just wanted to throw that in there. I just rolled up into my yard, and I got to pour my truck and get that shit done. So
Okay.
I'll see you inside, bud.
Thank you for calling. Thanks for your opinion. I appreciate it. Okay. Take care. All right. Other caller, do you want to ask a question? Go ahead. don't know what the hell was that. I do believe in God. I have a personal relationship with the Lord. Cyber Jedi calling. Wow, we haven't talked to him in a long time. Long time no talk. Hey, Cyber Jedi, what's going on?
I didn't mean to push the button again. I got a new phone and it's acting stupid. I'm sorry.
The failures of technology. All right, take it easy, man. Bye-bye. Okay. He's an inspiration. Cyber Jedi is an inspiration, period. He's a guy who connects solar panels. He has one solar panel plan where you can do it for $15. Make a 40-watt solar panel. He's amazing. But he's also a realist, and he's telling me the truth. And the truth is that our country is being dominated by a for-profit prison business that makes tons of money on the illegal drug operations. And it's been going on for a long time. Very doubtful they're ever going to want anybody like me to become president. So that's why you, the American people, are going to want me to become president. Because you don't want all these corporate cronies sucking off your tax dollars. You don't want all these for-private prison profit businesses sparking up all over the place with stupid laws like making marijuana illegal. You know, there are people right now serving 10-year prison sentence in Mississippi for possession of a joint. It's just ridiculous. I mean, we've got to get a standardization going here of no illegality with marijuana, period. It would open the door to all kinds of opportunity for our country. It oversees and supersedes all state laws that would make marijuana illegal. It releases everybody retroactively from any prison currently being detained for marijuana crimes, except for distributing and dealing. But anyone with possession charges would be automatically released from prison. The housing market rose as high as 2007, basically is falling now because the expansion of credit no longer can fund the mortgage-backed securities. Janet Yellen stopped paying back mortgage-backed securities about 6 months ago. And now all of those foreclosures are going forward, and we're going to see a collapse in the housing sector, which is, again, predictable. Yes, price of caviar would drop at least $20. Wow.
Hello, my fellow Americans.
I don't do impersonation people, black people impersonating Barack Obama because it's so easy. It's a hell of a lot harder for a white guy to impersonate Barack Obama. But thank you. Hey, I'm signing off here early because I'm really kind of burnt out, to be honest. I mean, this has been a long show. We've done a lot of things on our show talking about issues, about solutions that will help our economy with renewable energy savings bonds, funding them. Not your tax dollars. But let's watch a documentary like Trollonoscopy wants to do. Sarah came on for over an hour and a half. Yeah. Many of you missed her, but you'll be able to catch her in the after show. She's kind of fun. Yeah, many of you who watch the show late at night, it downloads and uploads and reformats and processes on YouTube. So if you go to our website, americasthirdparty.com, you will see it. All right, this has been great. I'm flushing anybody out of the show who is a person who wants to trigger a race war or martial law or hates people. I'm not playing Chemtrail Cowboy tonight. But I am flushing anybody who wants to foment the fan of fear out of the room. We are aware of Jade Helm and its dangers. We talk about it on Monday and Tuesday, but we're not freaking out. For me, Jade Helm is a call to action. It's my call to action to master my human domain, make myself more prepared for a disaster. I have prepared for many, many disasters. I started with Y2K, and I'm pretty much a person who stores food, prepares, and is ready for action. If we have to survive, we're going to survive. That's what we do. But in no way are we going to survive economically by just printing up money like the Democrats have done. Every state that they've dominated, they're bankrupting. California is the leading state. New York going bankrupt. Washington State going bankrupt. Oregon State about to go bankrupt. It's just terrible. So the Democrats, because they've been able to print up money endlessly, have been able to hide our entire fake economy. And we all sit back and watch, oh, gee, you know, what's going on with that? Well, apparently they aren't even accountable for what's happening. We are proposing all kinds of new solutions for our country. We have a solution to create vertical windmills, and I'm going to show you one of those real quick here because I didn't show it to you tonight, but it's pretty interesting. I'm going to show you a 3D printed car. It's amazing. 3D printed car, made in China. Google's car is going to be featured tonight on our videos. We're going to show you Asimo, the robot that was created 10 years ago. You can imagine how advanced it is today. I'm going to show you how to survive botnets and DDoS attacks online. We're going to show you a solar-powered hybrid robot lawnmower from Husqvarna. Some great stuff here. We've got some good stuff to show you. Amazing things that you may not have seen that are just phenomenal. Breakthroughs. Of course, solar highways will be featured tonight. Mobile medical unit will feature that as well. A way to print solar panels in your backyard. Lots of stuff. Robotic surgery. The Da Vinci surgical robotic system that's being developed, which will eventually take over. The origin of Stuxnet. And we'll even feature Stanley Meyer's water car tonight on our show. Cool. Lots of things are happening. Water fuel technology, electric cars. We'll let it rip. Thank you everybody for coming in. In 1933, the United States went into Chapter 11 restructuring and have been in bankruptcy ever since. That's right. Our elected representatives have become the trustees and international banksters became the receivers. Thank you, Wacko Wally. Semper Fi, buddy. This is kind of like the vertical windmill I'm talking about. See that? It's pretty cool. Let me show you what I came up with in 2008. It's potentially a revolution that could change the way we construct windmills. Now, although Cyber Jedi doesn't like this idea, I'm going to show it to you anyway. But if we can get something like this to work, you can imagine the jobs in America. Using a Savonius windmill idea, we could create unbelievable amounts of energy all across the nation on a daily basis, running at winds as low as 5 miles per hour. So this is a technology that if we could develop it, if it did work, and I'll leave that as the caveat, if it did work, it would veritably power up our nation in the event of an electromagnetic pulse, verifying the ability to create energy regardless of fossil fuels. I mean, even if it's a trickle, it's better than nothing. More surface, more energy produced. There you go. Cyber Jedi told me there was a problem with the reduction gears, and the cost of the stator, which would generate the energy, would be extremely expensive, he said. I'm going to bank on the idea that we can develop a technology cheaper and mass produce it and create these things and get them out there and rolling. Anyway, fast breeder reactors might work, but again, they have to be totally state-of-the-art Generation 4 nuclear reactors with no meltdown capability. So meltdown-proof reactors, definitely will consider that. I would consider building a meltdown-proof reactor right near the Yucca Flats facility, a breeder reactor that'll get rid of the 97% of the spent fuel rods currently in our nuclear arsenal. Our spent fuel rod arsenal, if you will. All right, good. You've been banned from casting. Oh my God, Bish is in. Hello, everyone. It's me. I've arrived. Hi, Bish. I heard tonight from the grapevine that you were banned. And Wacko Wally, I'm going to purge you because I don't want you showing things that are indiscreet for Bish, especially since she's here. Yeah, you can go on iVlog. Hollywood will tell you guys how to do that. You might find a different network that might, you can jump onto Bish. All right, I have a good time talking to everybody. I hope you enjoy the chat. You know, the dune style still suit technology, Paul, to combat the freshwater shortage. I have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm going to Google it. Okay? Thank you. In the meantime, enjoy the videos, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow night with Freedom Friday. Thanks for coming in and spending your evening with us, talking about politics and technology and fun stuff. All right. Go jump on the bed. Well, Sarah and I are going to watch a show on Netflix. Video on demand at, what, $8 a month? How can you beat that deal? Good night, everyone.
不用，我先。它的特点呢，就是说强度和韧性都比较高，自身的密度比金属要轻得多，也就是说只有金属的1/7。那么它减轻重量，对于今后的节能啊这些东西都有好处。
Google is making the leap from search engines to car engines, but not for just any car. The new Google car is unlike anything else on the road because it drives itself. Becky Worley joins us via Skype, and you went along for a test drive, didn't you, Becky?
I did. Good morning, Robin. Yeah, you heard that right. Google, the internet company, has been secretly working on a sophisticated combination of hardware and software that could revolutionize the feasibility of a self-driving car.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about for the first